is everyone in roll 20? Well,
Yep.
I guess Balduk's character is not in, but it's not a big deal.
They can post it from the same account. I think is what they're
Yeah,
doing.
that's what I'm working on right now. Is trying to get Roll20 pulled up on, or not Roll20, other.
Yeah. Okay.
Slots that I've used up.
Huh? What'd you say, Will?
You cut off a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm saying, did we rest at all at the end of last session?
I don't think so. I think you guys just took the lighthouse.
I still have my spell slots spent,
Yeah.
which it's only 3 of them, but still.
Do you remember what's your HP at?
Mine's at max. I don't know if that's correct. It might be.
I don't know. I don't think it is, because I went through and kind of replaced these tokens
Oh,
with the
okay.
updated ones. So yeah, you might want to go to D&D Beyond to make sure. I don't think anyone else
Cool.
lost health, actually, if I remember correctly.
I still got my consumed spell slots, and usually if we take a rest, then I'll go ahead and do that the night of, and that way I don't have to forget about it next time.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing we haven't taken a rest yet.
Right. That's what I thought. And did you guys add to your inventories the stuff that you got?
I did.
Okay. Because I can't for the life of me remember off the top of my head what I gave you guys.
It was supplies, mostly.
Yeah, mostly supplies. I think there's some scrolls, may have been a potion. That's right, it was a potion of like faking death, basically. That's a fun one. Okay.
And a spell scroll of true seeing.
Ah, that's right. That's right. True seeing. Alright. So
Yeah, Emily's got a potion of animal friendship, a potion of growth, and a spell scroll of spiritual weapon.
good. You guys did mark everything down.
Yeah, I try to do everything the night of so I don't forget about it later.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I mean, we had that session recorded, so I could have gone back and pieced together what I gave you guys anyway, but that's good.
I'm pretty sure that's the stuff she got last time, and I don't
Yeah.
think Balduk found anything in particular, just like rations maybe or something. I don't remember what it was.
Right. So, to kind of recap, you guys have made it to the city of Ash. Instead of taking a more direct route through one of the 3 roads into the center of the city, you have opted instead to go the long way around on the northward side and gone along the coastline, and you encountered the lighthouse and took out the hobgoblin guards that were posted there. You also found out from one of the dead ones that you spoke with Dead with that they were talking with the orc tribe, the Clankers, and for some reason or other, negotiations broke down, and now they're fighting each other. And I think that's the gist of it, unless there's any other details I might have missed.
It's still the middle of the night, isn't it?
Yes, it is still the middle of the night.
So I don't know with this little kind of battle or whatever going on kind of nearby, I don't know if it'd be worth taking a long rest. Maybe a short rest we could get away with, but it might be against our best interest to take a long rest. unless we want to try to fortify the lighthouse.
I think Dorian was planning on, or somebody was planning on trying to talk to the clankers. We could do that and scout. And we need at least 2 or 3 people to stay in the tower, probably.
Okay.
Talking about the flankers that we just you good ones.
No.
Hobgoblin.
Oh,
The hobgoblins are the legion. Clankers are the orcs and goblins. You haven't encountered them yet, really. You've only seen them from a distance.
I remember we talked about how we might be able to use them as allies because they're fighting the other guys.
Right. So is that kind of the plan?
Well, I can scout around while it's still dark.
Okay. Anywhere? Huh?
Balduk might be able to go with Dorian, but I don't think anyone else could.
All
I
right.
mean, if I'm going to go into town, I'm definitely going to disguise myself. Are we thinking, have me go as an orc to try to, impersonate one of the clankers, or am I going as a hobgoblin to try to go undercover in that respect?
I figure it might be smart to go in as the clankers and see what's going on with them. And if it looks like it's possible we could join forces, then we could reveal ourselves. And I could actually go see what they look like and describe it to you. So
Yeah.
your costume could be better.
True.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm afraid of, is that there's going to be some secret codes or other mannerisms that I won't be familiar with.
Okay, I think we're not very far from the clanker territory, right?
No, you're not. Their territory is pretty close to the lighthouse, but that's also where most the current conflict is kind of happening.
And we saw
Like,
some fires, right?
Yeah.
A few fires.
Yeah.
I'll just
Fires and lights within all these buildings, and also just the fire. There's also been fire. It looks like the hobgoblin wizards have been kind of casting spells as well.
I will try to be stealthy and fly over to a nearby building, and since I have good eyes, I'll try to take a look at one of the people around the fires that I can see in the light.
Roll stealth, and then we'll roll perception, I think. Ooh.
11. Much better.
God. A crit on perception, of course. So, you think you might, basically you fly low to try and get a good view, and
Mm-hmm.
it's left you kind of exposed. As you're flying over, one of the buildings you see, on top of the roof, you see a couple of goblins that seem to be kind of posted around, watching, kind of as lookouts. Through the window, through one of the windows, around you get a good look inside, and you're able to kind of see several orcs, kind of banded together. They've got all of them have some weird odds and ends of equipment with them. It looks like some of them have what look like to be finely made gauntlets or chess pieces, and other haphazard pieces kind of thrown and slapped together. Some of the goblins seem to be wearing some kind of goggles. And also in the building are these, what you've seen kind of also, again, further away, are these stone statues of what look like humanoids that are just in the room as well.
Whenever I realize that I'm kind of exposed, I'll immediately turn and fly toward the ocean and try to look like a seagull.
Okay.
And
I
then
don't know if that.
I'll fly along the beach back up to the lighthouse,
Okay.
and I'll describe to everybody what I saw, what they look like.
Yeah.
It's a giant ass seagull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we see some of those same humanoid statues
Yeah.
as we're approaching? Yeah.
Right. When both your crows spotted them in buildings and kind of around the city, and also when Zeik was also scouting again, maybe they were seen again. But there are also larger stone statues that you saw near the obelisks that are around the city.
That tower that Zeke just flew by, you were mentioning, so was it orcs and goblins, or orcs and hobgoblins?
Orcs and goblins. Yeah, orcs and goblins.
So the clankers are orcs and goblins, and the legion are hobgoblins that work for the evil orcs, I guess,
Right.
and others.
Yeah. That's what the Legion is.
Have we seen any evidence of the legion using any other races in like a widespread manner in their army?
I mean, other than a couple of orcs that they were like, I mean, back at the fortress that you guys were at, they obviously were working with the scorpion folk.
Yeah.
There were a few orcs that they were using, but it seemed like that was mostly for experimentation purposes.
Yeah.
So it's really not entirely clear. You have a feel like generally they could use other races, but you haven't seen much of it except for the scorpion folk. So there could be scorpion folk here too.
Okay. I will, while you guys figure out what to do with the clankers, I'll try to see what the hobgoblins are up to. And I'll use wild shape like a normal druid and wild shape into an owl.
Okay.
Like
Alright.
a sand colored owl.
Alright, make yourself less noticeable. Okay.
And well, they also have dark vision and advantage on perception, so
Let me shift the view to the city, like the overall city map.
mm-hmm.
That way we can kind of see better. Now, can everyone see that?
Mm-hmm.
You're
Okay. So, anyway, you're gonna fly as an owl.
It looks like the hobgoblins are more on the south side.
Correct. You're right. There's a lot of activity around, like here.
Yeah, I'm gonna first start by looking around the center area around the big obelisk.
Okay. I guess roll stealth. Yeah, I guess roll stealth with advantage on that one, and then perception. Okay.
It might be higher than that. Let's see. +4, so it's 1 higher. And perception will be advantage because of the owl.
Oh, sure. Okay.
So
Alright.
27.
Dang. So, as you're flying along the obelisk, like towards the obelisk and around it, you see a lot of hobgoblins are moving in and out. Like, obviously many are going up into the city, like the proper city, like city proper.
Mm-hmm.
You would assume in an attempt to kind of drive out the clankers. You see in these buildings, it looks like there's a lot of activity in particular. The obelisk itself, you see that there appears, like, looking deeper in, you also see several large stone statues. You don't see any of the smaller statues that you guys have seen in other places, but large stone statues definitely are around each of the buildings and around the obelisk. You also see what clearly looks like several hobgoblin-like wizards that are kind of concentrated among these buildings in the obelisk. It looks like a lot of their attention's focused on this.
Can I tell what they're doing? Are they trying to get inside or something?
It looks as if they're trying to, yeah, it looks like that. It looks as if they're trying to figure out perhaps how to get inside of this large obelisk. And it seems as though these smaller buildings are a part of it. Is there any?
The larger statues, are they the same? I know you said they're larger, but are they still humanoid in shape or creature?
They look artificial in the sense that they look like they're created statues, rather than say they look humanoid, I guess. Because it looks like, I mean, just based on your high perception rolls, you can see that those look more like those were petrified humanoids more than anything.
I will go farther south and see if I can tell if there's, like, about how many hobgoblins I can tell there are. It'll be hard to tell, but
Right.
I want to know if there's at least hundreds, because if there's hundreds, then we have to be stealthy.
There are on the order of what looks like hundreds. There are
At least. Yeah.
Yeah, at least.
Because there's
I
a
mean,
lot of
it's hard for you
buildings.
to tell, especially once you get into the city and the districts. It's difficult to estimate just how many there are. You do see in the back ranks, you do see more, a couple, like you spot a few scorpion folk actually amongst the ranks.
Okay. For the next 30 minutes or so, I will scout around the center, looking especially for any dwarves or daggers or any kind
Okay.
of magic spells being cast and stuff like that,
Okay,
and try to hear anything.
sure.
Because owls actually have advantage on hearing too.
No. I don't know if this would count as another perception roll. I guess it would. Or maybe investigation, perhaps. Let's say investigation.
Well, that'll
Since
be
you've
much
already-
lower.
Yeah, since you already kind of foresee. Oh. Well,
+0.
okay, so it's 11. So, as you're kind of flying around the obelisk and those 4 buildings, you see some of the hobgoblin wizards seem to be using some kind of spells on the walls and the doors. They seem to be trying to read, you think they might be inscriptions in the walls. In this building in particular, you see a lot of activity where there's several, like, not just wizards, but also other soldiers coming in and out. That's all
Okay.
That's all you get.
Well, while I'm looking around the center of town, you can cut to what everybody else wants to do.
Okay. And what is everyone else doing?
I don't really have anything to do until the scouts get back, honestly.
Right. There's not really anything for us to do until somebody gets back to. I guess Zeke's the only one out there, right?
Yeah. So, I guess you guys will wait for Zeek to return.
Just patiently waiting, twiddling thumbs.
Okay.
I'm gonna, I wonder, being a fighter, I want to look at the, I mean, this is just off the top of my dome, but,
Sure.
I want to look at the bodies, or I want to look at the hobgoblins, knowing that we're probably going to have to deal with a lot of them. I want to see if there's anything on them or any weak points or anything that I can kind of discover that would be advantageous to us? Have the time.
I guess you can roll investigation on that. Well, it's possible you may need to start beyond 20 maybe or something, because... Alright. So, looking over the hobgoblin bodies, or at least the one in particular you're looking at, they are pretty, like in terms of like build and physical stature, hobgoblins are pretty run-of-the-mill in terms of most races, right? They don't have a lot of major weaknesses, but they don't have a lot of major strengths either. I guess they're roughly comparable to humans, I guess, in that way. The main thing is they have a very, like, I guess it's not so much like physical so much as it is cultural or psychological, I guess. They've got usually a very rigid command structure and hierarchy. So basically, if they get caught off the wrong foot, they're bad at adapting.
Okay.
So essentially, surprise tactics or ambushes, maybe. Now, if there's a competent,
And I assume if we cut the head off the leader, they sit rigid. Like, are they? Do they kind of have trouble adapting something?
Well, they can. I mean, it's more like I said, dealing with a surprise. But yeah, if say their commander is discovered to be dead, yeah, it could be pretty. It could cause mass chaos. Yeah.
Okay. I got a really cool idea. I can't use it until we fight them. There's something I want to try.
But yeah, that's, like I said, there's not much that's like physically that sticks out.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else want to do anything, or is Zeik just gonna fly back and tell you guys what he saw?
Do you guys want to try talking to the clankers?
I mean, we could. It's the middle of the night, and
It's the middle of the night and they're fighting hobgoblins right now. Probably not the best time to try to make friends.
Should we all go, or should we only send like a few? Do we want to intimidate the clankers? Like, can we? Well, I guess we should do this in here. I mean,
the,
do we know
the best
already?
chance for us to do that would be like me and Balduk, you know, me disguising as an orc and going in and trying to just blend in and catch what we can.
I think our best chances of is doing maybe something like that in the morning or after fighting stops, or just trying to ignore both parties and sneak in where we can and see if we can't find Whitebeard or whatever his name is.
Miss Walker.
Yeah, trying to find him on our own without talking to anybody and just fight whoever we got to fight.
Is Zeik back yet?
I'd say so. Yeah, we'll say
Okay.
he's returned.
So Zeik, when you were flying around, did you see any like kind of more heavily congregated areas of the mechanical people? What are those things called again?
Clankers.
Clankers. Any more like maybe where their power structure could?
Did I?
So going back, well, let me flip back. So you think, based off of what you've seen, that there's more activity for the clankers here.
Well, hell, that ain't too far away. Damn.
So there's more activity where?
Did you see the?
Where the circle X.
No, my thing was too far down. I had to scroll around to find it every time. It never recenters. Oh, I thought the clankers were on the south side of.
Well, that's actually opposite.
Okay, so it's the hobgoblins on the south side and the
Yeah,
clankers on the
it's,
north side.
yeah,
Okay.
it's the opposite. Yeah.
I was thinking the hobgoblins are up north because the lighthouse that we're in is on the north side, and I thought that's where.
Well, that was more of a.
Multiple lighthouses too.
That's true, but this is more of like a forward base, I guess you could say, by the hobgoblins.
It seems like they've kind of taken over the center of town.
Well, hell, I think we should. I mean, couldn't hurt to talk to them.
We might could go in and make friends and offer our services to help push back the hobgoblin.
Make a little coin, buy some alcohol.
Zeke, when you were flying over, did you see any taverns or any activity happen yet this time of night like that?
Well, I saw them like keeping watch and some military stuff happening. Did I see any kind of tavern?
I mean, you were more focused on the hobgoblins, right?
Yeah.
Or are you asking more from the clankers' perspective?
Yeah, for the clankers.
So, I mean, there seemed to be. You noticed that there were certain like buildings that were more heavily trafficked, but I don't know if you could like necessarily say that they were taverns specifically or anything like that. Maybe supply buildings, perhaps.
The people were still doing stuff at night, this time of night, right?
Well, I mean, most of them are kind of taken up with the fight right now. But
Yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't know if you can like find a tavern in this situation.
I can't just go disguise myself as an orc and grab my loot and try to fit in somewhere.
I mean, you could do that.
So, is this like the favelas in Brazil? Like, are the buildings kind of connected to each other in some way, or can they be traversed to where if somebody were to get on a roof, they could kind of make their way towards that area, the middle of town?
Like towards the center?
Yes.
Some of the buildings are pretty close. I mean, a lot of these buildings are obviously very close to each other, anyway. But I think it's feasible that you could probably roof hop.
Yeah.
A decent like.
So what I'm thinking is maybe
Aladdin this bitch.
some of the more dexterous of us could do a bit of parkour and back up the two people that are going to this meet. Maybe have the two people that are going to the meet leave their weapons so that they try not to be what's the word for fucking whatever the word I'm looking for is, that you guys know what I'm saying, and the other person can back them up like me, the dexterous little dwarf. A threat, that's the word. So they don't look like they're a threat.
Right.
I think we should get as much information as possible tonight, so that way, when we get all of our spells and all that stuff back, we'll have more for the inevitable battle that's going to come.
So I'm perfectly fine with going up on them roofs and doing a little bit of, especially if they're going to be distracted, do a little bit of advanced recon.
Yeah. I could turn two of us and myself invisible, and we could walk around also.
Oh,
Sweet.
yeah.
Probably be able to hear a lot better.
Invisibility would probably be
then I
much
have to worry
better
about
than trying to
the cover.
disguise. I think this deep into the city, if we tried to disguise and go talk to people and stuff, we're bound to if we succeed in fooling them in the first place, we're just going to get thrown to the front lines or something. And supposing we don't succeed, we're just going to get probably imprisoned or something. So staying out of sight is probably the best thing all around. Just do some
Yeah.
I'll stay here, and I will cast Enhance Ability to give Dorian advantage on charisma checks.
Okay.
And I will cast Guidance on Balduk. So you get an extra d4 to your next ability check.
Probably needed because I fail my rolls all the time.
I still want to traverse the roofs, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to
All right.
follow them kind of back.
Damn
Ardea
it,
could probably go with Eloran doing that because they're both pretty high dexterous individuals.
Yeah.
After everyone
Alright.
leaves, I will barricade the
Stealthy
door.
rogue action.
Do what?
After they all leave, I'll barricade the door.
Okay.
And then go back to the top and watch.
All right. So, Dorian, Eloran, Dorian, Balduk, you guys are gonna go invisible, right? That's the plan.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Sounds good. We'll do that.
If
think
you can do
Eloran-
more than if you can do more than just two of us, if you can do three of
Yeah.
them, then that would probably be even safer.
Yeah.
I can't. The most I can do at a 4th level is +2. That's the highest I can do. So
Is that-
Can you,
But is that
can you
including
cast it
yourself?
as a lower spell level and just do one, and then you won't have to use up such a high spell slot? Like,
That's
could you?
a good question. Good
Yeah.
point.
Well, I mean, it's either giving up one higher level spell slot or 2 lower level spell slots.
Sorry, I don't know how spell slots work. I was just asking.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. But
Yeah.
it could just be the two of you.
I do have the slots. If that's legit.
I mean, so.
I also gave you all good berries. Can't forget
Yeah.
that.
Everyone has good berries. Can't
Yeah, so
forget that.
using a 3rd level spell slot gives you 2 people, and a 4th level spell slot gives you 3 people in total, right?
Yeah, total counting yourself.
Yeah, counting himself.
Yeah. Right.
So you could
So
actually disguise 2 other people.
Yeah, so you could cast it as a lower spell and just get you and Balduk, and then
Yeah.
we could just fly around in the roofs like Assassin's Creed.
Do a little parkour.
Yeah. Then we can save that extra whatever spell slot or whatever. Cool.
That sounds good. I do have a high dexterity and acrobatics.
Well, do you want to fly around with us and leave Balduk here? That'd be fine with me too.
Is there any way we can make it less obvious that we have a dwarf in our party?
Well, I don't plan to.
Has some visibility on.
Yeah.
Well, just something basic, so like if they see Eloran from a distance, they might not freak out.
Put a cloak on him.
Could I wear the
Cover his
hobgoblin?
face.
Could I wear the hobgoblin clothes? Oh no, that'd probably be a bad idea.
Yeah. they open a hobgoblin. Oh God, it's worse. It's a dwarf. Shoot it again.
Maybe I could find some clothes on the way or something.
A hood might work.
Yeah. The hood could help.
I
Yeah.
have I could, maybe I could take, because I've got cloth, I've got all kinds of stuff. Maybe I could just fashion a hood. Would you let me fashion a hood?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that's a big deal.
Okay, maybe I'll do that then. I'll fashion a hood. I'll try to make myself look like a clanker, based on Zeke's description.
You say fashion a hood in your southern accent?
I need to fashion myself a hood. A hood. A hood.
Okay.
We gotta murder this cross.
So you guys are now gonna go. So Zeke is gonna stay behind at the White House.
Yep.
Eloran, Ardea, they're gonna go rooftop hopping. um, and Balduk, Dorian will go invisible and just enter the city.
Well, hold on 1 second. How are we gonna know where the hell you guys are going?
That's a good point.
Bird signals.
Oh, they hear you clanking on those rooftops.
We just won't go where you're going, so we don't investigate the same areas.
Well,
Just come up with some kind of whistle.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was just kind of, yeah. Okay, maybe a.
Invisibility lasts an hour. Just meet back here in an hour.
Well, I was also wanting to back y'all up in case you got in trouble.
Oh, I will bamf right the fuck out if I have to. I got
Alright,
dimension
so you'll
door
just
and
leave door in there. Okay, fine.
thunderstep and shit.
Great, excellent. All right,
He's got
Dorian,
fly,
if you
he
get in
can- he
trouble,
can-
send me a crow or something.
That's good. I can fly out of there if I have to.
And I could dimension door him
You'll
with
be
me if
alright.
I had to. I could take one person with me.
Okay, yeah, then let's do that.
okay. So, I guess I'm gonna need our let's see, is that acrobatics or just an athletics?
I think they're both dexterity.
Yeah, they're both dex.
Acrobatics is dex. Athletics is strength.
I'd say it could fall under either one.
I think acrobatics.
If you're jumping
you're-
between
if you're high-
rooftops, that's probably an acrobatic act.
Yeah.
Since my thing isn't working, I need my token.
What's it doing? Do you know? Like, or not?
It's just not loading at all. But I just haven't taken the time to reload it because I can usually roll directly from Roll20, but I can try because I don't have it installed on Google Chrome.
Well, it could be installed on Chrome or Firefox, depending.
Yeah, but I don't have it installed on Chrome, and I already had everything open, so that's why I haven't reopened everything. But I can. It's not a big deal. I can load up Firefox. I'll just have to be right back.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I just
Or I
figured
can just roll a d20. Here, let me just roll a d20.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just add the modifier. Yeah.
Well, Ardea's up there showing off.
Yeah, Hardea's doing pretty fucking good. Oh god. Okay.
I don't use my luck and reroll that shit.
Yeah, that's when you're jumping from rooftops. It's not a good time to roll in that one.
No, it's not.
22.
Okay. So I'm gonna shift maps now to one of my street maps that I've had to kind of get. So, oh wait, I wonder if I need to change the lighting on this.
Hey Brent, can you send me the link for that app so I can
Yeah.
on the Chrome? Oh, I got it. I found it.
All right.
All right. I'm just gonna. I need to place your tokens, so give me a second. I assume no one can see anything.
Yeah, we can see
Right.
it.
Oh, you. How much can you?
The black screen.
Okay.
I can see all of it.
Really?
Yeah, you can only see a black screen.
That doesn't
I
make
can
sense.
see it a little bit. There's like a couple of corners or something.
Wait, how can Brett see all of it? That doesn't make sense.
I see nothing.
Yeah, completely black.
That's weird. I'm gonna see some setting on my character.
The more I zoom out, the more the map shows for some reason, but it's not complete. It's really weird.
Huh.
Okay, wait. Now it's all black.
But if I zoom in, it's all black.
That's bizarre.
It's all
Okay.
black for me now.
All right, that's good. I think
Yeah,
that's
it's all black now too. Yes.
So I'm gonna put Eloran here. Dea here. Actually, should be working. Can you see anything, guys?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's lining up for me.
Okay.
Nope, black screen.
Oh, I shouldn't move my token, should I? Because it's revealing.
Yeah. I mean, that's not exactly a big reveal, but I'm gonna go ahead and put Dorian in here. Balduk here. Can you guys see?
It's all black to us.
What about Will? Can you see? Will? Will's muted. So it's all black.
About IT, and you can't even keep yourself from unmute.
What could be causing this? I don't even know.
Token settings, probably.
Browser version could be a whole ton of them.
Well, yes, of course. Well, especially because this is a new dynamic lighting feature. Like, they changed up how it works
Yeah,
just recently.
But I guess
I think it's the
reason I
same
would think
thing.
it
I
would be
think they just.
browser would be because they were able to see some of the map before you had even changed it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it may not be working. I mean, it may just be on their browser. It may just be broken.
Could be. What the? Why is this off?
Hey, now something's lit up.
Are you guys zoomed out all the way?
Oh,
I've done zoom out and zoom in where I can see the whole map.
Okay.
And
All right. I think I know what was going on. Okay. Now everyone can see now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of see some weird stuff. It's acting strange. If I scroll around the map some,
I guess I'm not gonna place Zeik here, obviously, but
Scroll to the far left.
huh?
Zoom out and go to the far left. That's where your tokens are.
Yeah.
yeah, I can see the area we're in lit up. But if I scroll like up and down the map, then it like opens up other areas and then closes off some areas. It's really weird.
Well, it is set to kind of an explorer mode. So like anywhere you've revealed, you will remember that, or like the map will remember that.
Right, but I don't know how to describe it. It'd be easier if you could see what I'm looking at, but it's
Yeah, let me do that.
Are
actually.
you moving your token around, David?
nope. Just if I zoom out, if I zoom out enough, then I get this weird section. It's like a little triangle in the top left corner, and as I scroll down, that triangle opens up more of the. Well, I guess it does it on both corners, the top and the bottom corner, on the left side, and it reveals like little bits that I shouldn't be able to see.
That's really weird.
Like looking, okay, so I'm actually looking from your character's lighting perspective, David, and I'm
Yeah,
trying.
zoom out to about was that 58%? I think is what that says. You zoom the map out to 58% and scroll up and down. I don't know if it'll show what it's showing to me or not.
I mean, I'm not. Let's see.
If I zoom in a lot, then it doesn't do it. But if I'm out, then it's doing it.
Well, I'm not really seeing any weird effects or anything. In fact, as I've zoomed out, it seems to be fine. Like.
How are you zooming to 58%? It only goes in increments of 10 for me.
Yeah.
Mine goes to
I use a
58.
control and mouse wheel, so it does.
Okay, so
smaller
you're
increments.
zooming. No, you're zooming in the browser.
No, I'm talking about in
Control
Roll20,
mouse wheel is zooming in the browser. Trust me.
and it does it in Roll20 as well.
I understand,
Like in
but there's
Roll20.
also a zoom function in Roll20.
Right. There is.
Your browser, it could screw up the application that he's running. So don't use control and zoom. Use the zoom that's.
I'm at 100% for the browser, and which is just normal, standard view,
Right.
and it's causing that weird, funky.
How about you post a screenshot or something? Because I don't know what you're seeing exactly.
If you
'Cause,
set
like,
if you set your mouse wheel as zoom, you should be able to. It should be fine. That's what I do. But yeah, probably the thing he's seeing is some kind of bug.
I guess so. Because like I'm not seeing it.
Did you put any dynamic lighting lines on this map?
I did. Yeah.
Oh well, I don't know.
Like I put the lines in on basically all the buildings. Though I didn't anticipate people being on the rooftops, so that's actually kind of awkward.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to get rid of those actually.
The buildings block the light. So like me being on this building, like if you move my character, you can see it. Like I can't see. Like,
Right.
if I'm on the roof.
Right. Because those. Yeah. I think. I wonder if I can just. All right.
You may just have to
Yeah,
keep their
I
tokens
mean-
outside the building they're on, so they
Yeah.
can see.
Yeah, I guess so. I'll just play it by ear, I guess. But yeah, David, what you're seeing. Let's see here. So
If I scroll down, that's a second picture. That's that small triangle piece in the top, and there's another one at the very bottom. That if as I scroll around, that triangle window stays visible, and it lets me look around the map. And I could probably, if I had this set where I could scroll it side to side, I could probably see side to side too, based on the way this is acting.
well,
Is it because he's seeing multiple characters? Because he's probably seeing Emily's character.
And
your
that
character.
could have something to do with it. And I thought about that. I've tried selecting like who I'm playing as or viewing as or whatever, and
yeah.
that doesn't seem to change.
So I'm gonna.
It's a minor issue. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but
I just got rid of the building you're on. I got rid of the dynamic lighting walls I set up. So
Oh,
you should be able to see that.
I bet it has something to do with the fact that you see from two different perspectives because two of the different characters are assigned to you.
That's probably.
It has something to do
it.
with that.
Yeah, it's got to be something to do with that.
it could be. I thought about that earlier too. But
Yeah.
it's a small thing. It's not that big a deal. And if I zoom in tight enough, then it goes away.
I think we should continue to troubleshoot for now.
Yeah. Okay, so.
You may just have to undo all your work and delete all the dynamic lighting lines.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do.
But if you do, you can just select them all at once.
Yeah,
Do them
I think
all.
I think there's just a clear drawings, right? Or I could just I could just select them all at once. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I didn't think of people running across the rooftops.
I think we're forgetting the more important question is how did they get on the rooftops? Especially Eloran. He's like 4 feet tall.
Well, he's got like a grappling hook thing as well.
No, that's true.
Yeah, he's got a. I mean, Ardea could get up there. I mean, she's pretty tall, so she could just jump up there probably and climb up.
Well, she rolled like a
Yeah.
26, so she can just run up the wall like a monk.
She can just keep talking until I finally
You can
land.
anime climb a wall.
Yeah.
That's sure. Why not? She rolled high enough. Okay. So I've gotten rid of all the dynamic lighting walls now from this map. Now it's circles. So you guys shouldn't, I mean, other than, let's see, other than just your lighting, yeah. And now you guys just have a line of sight. This is a really helpful shortcut, by the way, Brett. Where I can actually see what they see.
Yeah.
What the hell? What is... Ardea's is really weird. Like, what's going on with hers? This may have been the actual issue. Let's see. I mean, night vision, all that's set.
Move your token
Let's see.
around.
Yeah, let me move it around. Huh. That's really odd. Yeah, like... Okay, yep. Eloran's is fine. But Ardea's, it's like... So, everyone else's, it's like their field of vision, like, cuts off, right?
Mm-hmm.
With hers, like, she has her field of vision, but it's not like darkness. She sees the rest of the map, it's just not colored, like, lit up or colored. So I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that's weird.
Not seen it this way on this side.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I mean, I see a big chunk of the map open, but not the full map.
Right.
I don't think it'll matter.
I don't think it matters that much.
Especially if they can't even see that, then it's fine.
Right. Alright, I think we can probably move on. If everyone's good. Well, wait. Will had to be right. Will's way. Huh? Are you back?
I'm back.
Okay.
I am back.
Alright. So both of you, and I guess we need a little indication to indicate you're invisible. There's not really...
I'm sure there's some kind of icon in here.
Not really a great one. It's weird.
Well, because the icon would just be nothing.
I guess that's a good point. That's probably the best one.
That'll work.
Yeah. Oh. Oh well, that's weird. Okay. So Balduk and Dorian, you've entered the city proper, and when you enter, you obviously see several more of these humanoid stone statues littering the streets. Eloran and Ardea, you guys have come upon your first roof, and from what you can see, the way for you looks clear to hop to the next roof.
Okay.
Can I investigate one of these statues and see, like how long this thing
Yeah,
looks like it's...
same.
Okay, you guys want to both investigate? So one of you can make an investigation roll, and they'll have advantage, or both of you can roll. How's that sound?
I
My
have a
investigation's
+6.
okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and make the roll. I have a +6.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I'll give him help then.
Okay.
He's able to roll from Beyond D&D Beyond, but I don't see how to.
There you go. So you need to roll again for initiative or advantage. Okay. So you're looking at one of these statues more closely. Let's say this one. I'm just going to move your token right to it. And
Whatever you did just completely messed my. I can't see anything now.
what?
Yeah. Now my screen is like completely grayed out. I can't see anybody else on the screen.
Don't use control
Because you selected
mouse
my
wheel in your
token.
browser.
I didn't even have the window selected. Like I'm working in a different window, and whatever you just did, whatever you just moved,
I just moved Dorian. That's all I did.
Mine
That's
looks
all I
fine.
did.
screenshot.
Okay.
Move Eloran's token.
All right.
It might have just
I'm
crashed.
seeing- Yeah, I could have.
That's what my screen looks like now.
Huh. That's. What does that even mean? Wait. It looks like. Yeah, I think you might have crashed because I only see. Well, hold on. I don't see your whole screen. Never mind.
Okay, now it's. I haven't clicked
That's what
on
it
anything.
looks like when
Now
your
it's
player
showing
plays
everything.
play.
When what, David?
That's what it looks like whenever. That's like an area that you can't see anymore because you've left it. So you remember the area, so it's grayed out, but the
Yeah.
fog of war is gone, so you can still see the map.
Now I see everything again.
So
It just, for some reason, everything just showed up.
Huh.
And like I said, I don't even have this window selected. It's on my other screen.
God. Okay. Well. This dynamic lighting thing they've done is just been a joy. Anyway, so
They didn't actually change it though. They just changed the menus. It's
well,
just
well,
already
I don't
full
know
of
what's
bugs.
happening yet. Ah well, we'll have to work through it, I guess.
Or our settings are not
It's-
right.
As far as it's always been a buggy piece of crap.
Well, a lot of it just has to do with the fact that you have to make sure your page settings are correct and the token settings are correct.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's
it's
just
fine. It's fine.
It's just really annoying. But anyway, so is there anything in particular you want to investigate about these statues?
Yeah, I was specifically curious about if they looked like they were old statues. Did they look like they had wear on them from being here for a long time, or did they appear to be more recent, or anything like?
Okay. So, looking at this statue in particular, you notice that there seems to be a coating of dust that's kind of collected on this statue in particular. So it hasn't moved in a while. You know that. Also, it appears as though it looks like a humanoid, like just a human, except a little closer inspection, you notice that some of the exposed areas of the skin appear to be it's like a combination of just normal human skin and some scales.
Like it looks like a petrified skin scale something, or
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Also, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, well, I mean, with the high enough investigation roll that it appears to be a petrified human of sorts.
And then, as a kind of a follow up to that, what kind of expression do these statues have? Do they look like they're afraid, or do they look like they're posing, or do they look like, surprised or something?
Well, this one looks terrified.
And then, and as we go, kind of as we move on from here, kind of looking at the other statues for similar features or how they differ from one another and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Dorian's what?
I was gonna say, before I jump down, I want to do the same thing. I have stone cunning though, so I'm wondering if I can do one. Like, is it stone or is it something else?
Well, I mean, petrified, it's stone.
So one of the things that I want to do is, or one of the things that I want to check is, if just like the hobgoblins, I want to check and see if there is a weakness to this stuff.
Okay.
If I can, and then Dorian can do what he wants to do while I roll.
Okay.
Okay.
I was just going to add the same things that Balduk was looking for. I'd also be looking for the age of the statue, the expressions in the face.
Right. Basically, I mean, the basic
of
gist of it is, looks to be human. It seems to have been here for a while, a long time. Long enough for a thick coat of dust to kind of settle on it. And, yeah, it's got a terrified expression on its face. Okay.
That's a 20.
Okay. So, I mean, you find out a lot of the same information from your observation, but looking at the stone, you don't think this is like a naturally occurring thing. You think that this was a magically caused petrification. They seem there's not like an obvious weakness, I guess, other than the fact that, well, I mean, they're stones that are the dimensions of a typical human, so they're probably, you can kind of guesstimate that the limbs could probably more easily crack off and then say like the center and stuff like that.
Okay. So they're brittle?
They could be brittle. But looking at them more closely, you don't see any like signs of like wear and tear, of like erosion to the elements.
That's the question I was gonna ask.
Right. Like for statues that have been around this long, you would expect some sort of wear and tear to have occurred, especially with this much sand in the environment. But they don't seem to be affected.
Do they have weapons?
None of them appear to have weapons that you can see.
Do any of them appear damaged or anything?
Nope.
Other than the cracks you were talking about, right? Or you said something about cracks.
Well, I was saying that as another detail, like some of the skin on the one they were looking at in particular, it appears like, basically, it's not like stone damage necessarily. I'm just saying that some of they had like scales on their skin, like literal reptilian kind of scales.
And they're not like a dragonborn or something that would have scales. They're
No.
definitely human, and so the scales would be abnormal.
Well, and
Yes, from your
and
experience.
another thing is I did it as a history check, so I know who Medusa is, but Eloran might not know who Medusa is. Is Medusa in this world or a creature of that?
It's not Medusa. However, there used to be what are known as the Yuan-Ti, which are a humanoid snake hybrid race the Yuan-Ti back in the day used to do modifications on their own people to kind of make them more snake-like.
So it's a Gorgon. Medusa was a Gorgon.
I mean,
A Gorgon might have caused these things to be this way, but they are not, I don't think.
yeah, they are not Gorgons. I will say that. Hold on as I die. Alright. Oh.
Okay, I think that's it. I just wanted to, mostly I wanted to ask the Medusa question.
Sure. Like I said, the closest thing to Medusa would be the Yuan-Ti.
Do I see any, do I know who the Yuan-Ti are? And if I do I see any sign of them, like around? Or maybe I'll keep that in mind while I'm jumping around if I see any sign.
You have heard of them. You've never encountered Yuan-Ti yourself. Theirs was an empire that died out many years ago. But you have read of and heard of them. You can't say you're very familiar with, like, say, going back to, like, say, stonework and stuff like that. You're not really familiar with that. So.
Good enough for me.
Yep.
Are there any tracks in the ground or dirt, or I don't know if we're standing on stone or necessarily like the picture shows, or if it's sand.
At this point, it's more kind of cobblestone, like what the picture depicts.
Would there be any tracks or anything around that might be? I mean, I guess it's probably hard to see in the dark, but you know, for what I could maybe try to see.
Roll investigation looking for tracks, or maybe that would be survival. Let's say survival.
Yep.
Nothing obvious. Like, it doesn't look like there's as much dust covering the ground as there are in the statues. So.
Okay. I'm ready to start jumping.
Alright. So, what do you guys want to do? I just
Yeah,
the
we're
next
gonna
route.
make our way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was planning.
Okay.
Hey, Ardea, does it make sense to send your little feral mongoose out there to scout ahead?
Mongoose.
Let's see what Cassius can do.
Oh no.
I didn't think he'd listen to you in the first place.
No,
Yeah.
he doesn't.
So it just runs in circles.
Just starts taking a dump.
Yeah.
Just immediately.
Yeah, I can jumpy jump.
Okay. So make yet another acrobatics check, I guess.
Okay.
And Ardea, I want you to roll perception. Okay. So, Eloran, you what?
Then my blank again. It's all gray again.
Move
I'm
your
wondering-
character token.
I'm wondering if it's some kind of, like,
Oh, yeah.
connection issue.
No, if I move my character token, it comes back.
The same thing just happened to me a little bit ago too. Everything went gray, and I could see my character token and her character token. That was it, and I just grabbed mine and just kind of wiggled it a little bit, and everything lit back up. I don't know why. It was really weird.
Huh.
It could be a bug caused by the fact that he
did
deleted
it
some of the
again.
lines while he had already had it loaded.
That could be so. So, Ardea, as you're passing by, you hear, like, just to your right, what sounds like some movement on the roof. Like, it sounded like someone was adjusting their footing on the roof.
I pull out my bow and try to sneakily investigate that.
Alright. For investigation. Okay. So, as you are investigating, you kind of walk closer, or you walk a little further down, and you, as you're kind of, you kind of start listening more closely. You can hear something breathing very lightly. Like you can almost not hear it. And it's right in front of you. But you still don't see anything.
So am I not perceiving any of this?
Roll perception. I mean, you can see Ardea's stopped. I mean, I imagine you wouldn't just leave across the building and you saw Ardea just kind of stopping to scope things out. Yeah.
So it's in front of her, you said? Because
Right.
I assume I'm just gonna be. Am I gonna be? I guess you can grab some. Go ahead, Ardea, if you wanted to do something, but I actually have something that I was gonna.
So, Eloran, as you're moving in that direction, and Ardea, you hear something jump and land right here.
Right where?
Can you guys not see that?
No.
Not yet.
No.
Not seeing any ping or anything.
Ah, Jesus Christ. Anyway, right here.
Oh, there you go. So I just moved away a little bit.
Right.
Okay, and we see it, or it's still invisible? We just heard it.
You heard it.
Okay. I want to. I have some red and white flammable powder.
Okay.
I want to kind of pocket sand this guy. Throw it on the thing. I don't want to set it on fire. I just want to kind of have it show up.
Okay. Oh, what happened? Someone disconnect? That was Will. Oh, now he's back.
So you're trying to use the sand to reveal its.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea here. So you do that, and you do like it's like the flammable like powder, right? You're just kind of spreading the powder out.
Yes.
So when you do that, some of the powder does land on what looks like a figure, and the figure, and it looks humanoid, I'll say, but you can't make out much more detail before it just is gone. And
Okay,
then
but okay, go ahead. Sorry.
so you see it reappear on another rooftop, over the side, still covered in some of the powder that you put on it.
Can you ping, like you said, another rooftop?
Yeah, let me.
Because the reason I ask is if it's not too far away and I'm not going to give my position away, I do want to try to say something.
It's right here.
Okay. So, hey, wait a second.
Okay.
Do I see it turn or anything, or does it continue to kind of? Is it like fleeing, or can I see if it's pointed towards me, or?
It's fleeing.
Okay. Does it still continue to flee? Okay.
Yeah, it's continuing to flee.
So I want to. I really want to shoot it.
I want to take my shot at it. Add that bow out and ready.
Well, but I want to shoot it with my chain and try to, or my whip, and I want to try to keep it from. I don't want to try to shoot it with the crossbow.
Okay.
I'm saying you both can't take a shot.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something I want to do. And obviously if she wants to shoot it with her crossbow. I want to try to keep it from fleeing or capture it or something.
Okay.
And I'm going to use the chain.
What's the feet on that? Do you know?
80 feet is for the chain.
Okay. Yeah, you could try make a dexterity. It'd be a dexterity check, but I think you would have disadvantage just because of the fact that all you have is like that marking powder.
It's invisible. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So.
What do you want me to roll again?
Dexterity. Dexterity saving throw. Okay. Well, wait. Roll again. You have disadvantage.
Ah, shit!
Okay.
No!
So that misses. It's like the chain you fire just arcs wide and misses it.
All right.
And Ardea, you want to take a shot? So you have disadvantage on this one for sure to hit. So roll again for hit. Yep, that's a miss.
Well,
Does it completely miss it, or does it glance off of armor, or what?
It just completely misses.
okay.
And while you guys are doing this, let's see.
Man, this going gray thing is annoying as shit. It's constant.
It seems like every time somebody's token moves, it causes the screen to gray out.
Try sending us back to the other map and then back to this one again to
Okay,
reload it.
yeah, I'll do that. All right. All right.
God, I really wanted to capture that thing. Why did you make us move?
I mean, it's invisible.
Not, yeah.
All right, I'm going back to the map.
You also need to set your guy to roll Whisper.
Oh, is it rolling for everyone to see? Or no?
GM just darted something.
Why does it do that? I don't understand. Because, like, I haven't had any issues with the other stuff. Like, how do you set that, Brett?
Oh, and it's a hobgoblin too.
It should be on the character sheet.
Iron Shadow. What's up, Iron Shadow?
Well, I kind of assumed it would be, right?
Yeah,
Unless it's a clanker being weird.
right. Like, where would it say that, Brett? I don't know.
It's a setting. I'll show you.
Okay.
I really need to clip my nose hair.
What? Why is it set to that automatically? That's dumb. Okay, well. Yeah, well. There's a few more that gotta be fixed. What? Wait, is that?
So did the gray thing? Is it still happening?
is the gray thing still going on?
I haven't seen it. No.
Okay, that's promising.
Haven't seen it yet, but
So
Yeah.
they both missed attacks on this invisible person. Now what?
As you guys are finishing it, like you try and shoot your shots, now what happens is there's some you hear a whizzing noise as several darts fly at you guys from the direction at which it ran.
Okay. And they all miss us?
Well, don't know. Let's see.
You already rolled one of them.
Okay. All right. All right. So. Another one. All right. So. Ardea, does the 17 hit?
I don't know.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I assume a 20 would also hit, so you take 11 damage. Eloran, I assume a 20 would hit, so you take 7 damage.
Yay.
Does a 17 hit?
Yep.
Okay.
7, you said?
Yeah, 7.
Got it.
And since they attacked, they have to reveal themselves.
Just 2 of them.
That you can see.
That you can see.
Could be 50 more invisible.
Nope, gray stuff's gone back.
Yep.
You don't even have to move the token, you just gotta click on it for it to come back.
Huh. That's really weird.
It's alright, I blame you directly.
Ah, well. So, I think we'll need to roll initiative at this point, probably.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you, I don't know why it didn't add me, can you?
I think you rolled before the tracker was up, so I don't know if it clocked. Either that or maybe you didn't have your token selected.
Yeah, that's usually what happens.
So I can just roll again and then just change the number, right?
Yeah, let me just add you to the turn order. I would assume Eloran has the higher dexterity modifier.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so yeah, Eloran will go first.
Yay. So I assume that every square is 5 feet?
Correct.
Is a jump an action?
I would say it'd at least be a bonus action. Or actually could be part of your movement.
I think jumping's part of your movement.
Yeah, jumping's part of your movement. Yeah, so it's not going to count as an action of any kind. Okay.
I think there's some rule too that you have to move like 10 feet before you can do like a long jump. So like if you're going to jump across this gap, it requires like 10 feet of movement, then the jump to be able to try to. I don't know the exact ruling, but there's some kind of like wind.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
And I'm gonna smash.
All right. Smash.
Use my Silverlight. So I assume both of those hit.
They do.
So all of that, whatever all of that. And the additional, the d6s are like it,
Okay.
if it matters.
So that's 22, 27, 31.
31. Get
Okay.
fucked.
All right.
Am I able to, as my bonus action, am I able to kind of listen, like, and try to be perceptive as to maybe anything else that may be running around this place?
Yeah. We try.
I would like to do that. Do I need to roll for it, or do I need to?
Yeah, you would need to roll
see?
perception.
Okay.
Roll perception.
Oh.
So, you hear, like, so I assume, like, after you hit this guy, he'll have to back off a little bit. And as you do, you kind of close your eyes and try and hone in and listen. See, am I in the right mode? Yes. So, you hear sounds from here and here.
Okay. Now we're on the downslope of this roof, right? So.
Right.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Balduk. I would assume you guys would have probably heard or saw something, saw what was going on up here, probably.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Like, so far they've been pretty quiet. They've just been shooting bows and arrows until Eloran jumped over there and clobbered a guy. But even then, I don't know if he made noise or anything.
Would you be able to see me attacking something though, right? You would see me jump.
I mean, if I was looking in your direction, I've been like scouting out these statues, so I don't think my attention would have been on you in the first place.
Yeah.
I legitimately don't think that I would have noticed anything. I'm over here staring at statues. Just
Would they
investigating
have
this
heard
place.
me hit the guy?
I would assume probably. I mean, it could be possible.
Could be, maybe, but you're also on top of a building, which is, I don't know, however 10 feet tall or something, above my head. Probably can't see you over that awning or anything from where I'm at. Probably not.
I mean, however you think, I don't really care.
I mean, honestly, I don't even have line of sight of you. I wouldn't think from where I'm positioned. Maybe this sound would be there. I don't really know. But honestly, I don't think there's anything. I couldn't get up there to you. I'm just
Well,
going to keep investigating statues.
Do what you're gonna do.
I'm just going to wander around looking at statues. That's all I
Okay.
can do.
All right. So the next one is this guy here. This is it. Yeah. Okay. This guy's gonna. He's gonna end up teleporting to over here. Well, probably about here. He's gonna fire darts at you, Eloran.
Okay. So these guys are able to teleport and attack at the same. They're able to do both of those actions.
That's right.
Shit.
Well, Misty Step's a bonus action, so they're good.
Right.
What's it called?
I'm assuming that's what it is. 'Cause Misty Step is a bonus action.
All right.
I'm just assuming.
Okay, so this guy. So. I assume a 25 is gonna hit.
You assume correctly. If a 20 hits, a 25 is going to hit.
Yeah. So 7 damage.
Okay.
And then a second attack. Also 25. That hits for 8.
Okay.
But then all his other attacks miss. Basically, he threw 4 darts at you.
So they get 4 attacks and they do that much damage. How much is that? What did you say? 15?
So 7, 8. Yeah, 15.
I'm gonna. The one that does 8 damage. I'm gonna use my.
Repose.
Yeah. Well, actually, I might not be able to repose.
Is it? Because I think it's. Is that?
Melee
It's
attack.
melee. Yeah.
So never mind. I can't repose.
And it's Dorian's turn.
Well, I'm hearing this commotion on the roof.
Thank you.
Could use my dash, but still stay like stealth. I would like to do that.
Okay. What direction are you? I mean, you would have to roll stealth, I guess, while you're dashing, if that's what you plan on doing.
More than I wouldn't do when I was normally moving, I guess. I'm gonna move like about right here.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just going to, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna kind of be up against the building there and worry of everything that's going on, being watchful.
Okay. Well, you discover a dead orc underneath one of the building roof, like underneath one of the buildings, like probably building roof, like it's on the ground floor.
Is it a clanker?
Looks like a clanker.
Am I able to inspect it at all?
You can roll an investigation.
Wow.
This orc looks like he was like several darts are sticking out of him, and it looks as if his throat is slit.
Okay.
Is his throat slit with a dart?
No. Is the
That's where the orc is there, I see.
see him now? Yeah.
His body for anything real quick while I still have a turn.
I mean, you're not going to be able to search too deeply since you only really have a few seconds, but searching his body, you just find what looks like a pair of goggles and some typical sword. Like a pack for lunch. Nothing great on him.
Okay. I am done with my turn.
Ardea.
I'm going to leap over to join Eloran and try and let out a whistle of some kind, just trying to get Balduk and Dorian's attention, but not raise too much attention from anyone else that could be in the area.
Do that in character, please.
Yeah.
I don't.
Did we come up with a plan beforehand on any kind of signal?
Nope.
I mean, you
Said
guys.
we were gonna whistle.
I thought you guys had something.
Fireworks in the sky?
No, we are not Harry Potter.
Oh, is it Harry Potter?
Very much a Harry Potter.
Fart really loudly?
Somebody have a flare gun?
Straight up flare gun.
I
They
can
keep
throw a
shooting me
fireball
across
in
the
the
ship
sky.
Caca! Caca! Assist!
That sounds like Ardea.
I do something silly like that. Caca! Caca! Help!
Help.
As I'm midair and flapping my arms so no one knows I'm not a bird.
Perfect. Okay.
Whatever, bird.
So you're gonna leap across.
Yeah. See.
Yep.
I will say, by the way, that this guy that you hit, Eloran, is bloodied.
I hope so.
Alright, so what's the game plan?
Popping over.
Come over here?
Sword.
Okay.
Slash at him. So
Make an attack.
Yeah, that hits. That doesn't hit. However, he's very low now.
Do you want to use your Colossal Strike?
oh yeah, I do have Colossus Strike.
And you have, so that's that you have your main hand, your offhand, and then you have an extra attack in the Colossal Strike. Do you do everything? Yeah, I gotta find out where Colossal Strike is.
We under features and traits.
That's what I'm looking for. I know it's around here somewhere.
It's an extra D8, right?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. If I remember right.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's what Hunter's Prey is Colossal stuff.
Sweet.
Did that kill it?
Max Damage.
Yeah, it's dead.
I want my bonus action. So. Is the other one close by?
It's over here.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's way over there. I can't get to it, can I?
No.
Because you use most of your movement to get to here.
Well, then I've done everything I can do.
Yes.
End turn. End
Okay.
turn.
So we're at the top of the round again. However, I'm going to do some stuff.
Hey Brett, how much do those berries do again, healing wise?
Right now, 1.
Okay, well fuck that then.
So if someone's unconscious, it's good.
Yeah, that's the key. That's the good stuff. Okay. So, more darts shoot out from here and here.
I'm not seeing any pings.
Oh, well.
Use your drawer. Would it be easier?
Yeah, well.
Marker. Sharpie. Whatever.
These guys are attacking on the new round or on the last round?
Well, they're basically entering combat.
Okay, and they're able to hit me from the other side of the room. Unless if they're not attacking me, which I hope they're not.
Well, there's a few attacks going on. So Ardea, you take three of the darts hit you, connect. So that's 15 damage. And Eloran. Only 2 darts hit you. Actually, only one of them, because you actually listened to kind of like prepare yourself. So, yeah, one of them hits still, and you take six piercing damage. Okay. And I will go ahead and reveal them. Dorian, some darts fly down and hit you.
Is he not still invisible?
What?
Is Dorian not still invisible?
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that.
I could have missed something. I don't know if he did and took any action that would have dropped invisibility.
He hasn't. I fucked up. Nope. So, Eloran, it's your turn. Let me roll for these guys.
Not sure what I want. I think what I'm gonna do is gonna depend on this. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my bonus action first. Use my second action. Oh, excellent. Crit him, that's fucking awesome. So I get that much health back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm back to being not terrible. I just don't see how we're gonna survive going against 3 of these things, just 2 of us. We're gonna get darted down.
Wanted to jump on
They're
health.
coming.
What did Ardea say?
I cacawed. They're coming.
What did you say, Will? Because you guys would have to break invisibility to help us, and I don't exactly love that idea.
Can I make a perception check to see if I heard the bad bird call?
Yes. Go ahead.
4 attacks per guy. 3 guys. We're fucked if we're doing this by ourselves.
You think you hear a very weird caw that clearly doesn't sound like a bird.
Okay, can I just start flying that direction?
You can. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just say that you will arrive at the end of this round.
Okay.
going to. I think I'm gonna kind of reassess. I don't like our position, so I am gonna. Let me make sure I can make it. Hold on. Get that right. So I'm gonna sprint to here and get behind the statue.
Okay.
And kind of take a defensive position.
Okay.
While at the same time, I wonder.
That's a hell of a sprint. Damn.
Yeah. Well, I can. That'd be 50. So that's exactly.
All right. No, that's fine.
So I am going to. When I get down there, I'm gonna kind of. I don't want. I'm gonna like stomp my feet or something. I'm gonna make sure that they know that I'm running, and while I'm running, when they turn and look at me, I'm gonna kind of motion that, we're being attacked.
Yeah. Okay.
To who? You don't see anybody around.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Motion
Well,
to-
I mean, you could assume maybe they could see you.
Yeah.
yeah, and I'll just I'll just motion anyways, and then if you see, because I'm making noise, so I'm getting your attention.
Right. I mean, yeah, he's not trying to be stealthy at this point. So.
Nope. I don't really have anything else I can do, unfortunately. So I think that's gonna be it for my turn.
All right, Balduk. I would
Oh,
assume at this point you would see Eloran running off of a roof.
Yeah, I'd probably see him. I'm within line of sight. Probably catch that if I'm looking around. I don't know what the hell's going on, and I don't know what he wants me to do.
Does he see the dart sticking out of my neck?
I don't know, how big are those darts, and how dark is it?
Well, think of them as shuriken, basically. So,
I mean, we're
fairly
talking about
big.
and
Okay, fine. I pull one out and I throw it at him. Or I throw it in his general direction. I'll roll.
Well, I think I can surmise at the very least that if he's running off the building and has presumably been attacked by something, and yeah, I heard a weird bird sound. I don't recognize that kind of bird. I'm not sure what it is. I'm gonna back up on I want to be like under the awning of this building.
Yeah.
Kind of putting my back to it, so I'm not on top of it. It's underneath it. But I can't.
Sure.
And let's see here. I don't really know what I can do at this moment because I don't see anything to attack or see anything to do. So I'm not really sure. I kind of. I could maybe haste him, but I'd like to hit 2 people with that. Would be nice.
I don't think you should waste.
Win that. And I'd rather not waste a higher level spell slot when I could twin it on just one person. Don't know what to do. I will probably if I
Ready in action.
well, that's what I was getting ready to say. Could I ready a spell if I see somebody then
Yeah.
attack? But if I ready a spell, that would probably pull me out of invisibility too, wouldn't it? Because I'm casting it, I just haven't released it yet. So I would imagine that any invisibility of the spell would be just sitting there in my hand until I release
The
it.
invisibility, I think, is specific to making attacks, right?
That I don't know. I'd have to read what it
Oh,
is.
it's for any spell or attack action.
spell or attack
But you
action.
have to actually take the action, right?
Right, you'd have to take the action. I think there's a difference between readying an action and taking it. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, if I can get ready to cast a spell and just not do anything until I see something,
Yeah.
see an enemy, then and still stay invisible in the meantime, then I would do that and just be ready to attack as soon as I see an enemy to attack.
What spell are you readying?
Probably. Yeah, that's a good question.
I kind of figured you had a spell in mind if you were gonna.
Well, I did, but then I started to change my mind, and once you asked me that question, I changed my mind, and, and I was like, shit, do I want to? How about I just ready a cantrip, because I don't know what we're up against, and I don't know what kind of damage it may have, or I don't want to burn a higher level spell on something that if it's overkill. So I'll just ready a firebolt and just be ready to cast that as soon as I see an enemy.
Okay.
So that way I try to remain in invisibility and just kind of put my back to the wall and just be ready to fire a firebolt whenever I see something.
Okay. So now it's this guy's turn. He's gonna attack Ardea with darts.
I'm kind of hoping that gives me something of a surprise attack with it or something.
Okay, so 2 of his attacks hit. One of them he crit on, actually. So out of his 4 darts, 2 hit, and you take 13 damage. And he is going to... teleport this way. Dorian.
I thought you were moving towards the bad guy. She moved a token, and I was like, "What the fuck? She's moving towards me."
I was trying to break the gray screen.
Yeah.
I normally will just grab and drag and then let it release back into place, but it pulled over one space.
Ardea's not afraid.
I have bigger balls than y'all.
Alright, Dorian, you're up.
Okay. As I'm looking at this building here, do I see any kind of windows or any entrance points on this side of the building?
You see a door right here. I don't know if I pinged that right. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I saw it. But no windows on this side.
There are a couple of windows like here, here. Well, there's only one window on this building in particular. There's a window over here on this other building. They're kind of like slammed together.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and move over here, and I'd like to look inside that window.
Okay. You look inside, and you see more of these statues that are outside. There's just more of them. It's kind of, you see kind of almost looks like a living room area with a fire pit place. There's a table, and 3 of these stone statues sitting there. There doesn't seem to be any, well, roll perception. Oh. Well, that's all you see then. Anything else you'd like to do?
Yeah, I think I maybe have like 10 or more feet of movement. I'm gonna go ahead and just move to the corner here.
Okay.
And
Are you
see
trying to remain stealthy, I assume? I mean, you're going to have advantage because you're invisible, but...
Yes, yeah, invisible, yeah, just sneaking around this building trying to see if I can see what's going on inside of it, since I'm hearing this ruckus on the roof and I'm now seeing Eloran.
Roll stealth. You'll have advantage. Are you looking in? Are you focusing on this building or the building in front, like right here?
Oh no, that building there.
This one?
That one.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. I mean, you heard the caca from earlier, and you also heard faintly like someone hurriedly getting off the running across the roof, but you're not sure beyond that. Is that it?
I guess that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Ardea, what do you do?
Well, since my partner in crime abandoned me on a dang roof, I'm gonna run and join him so I don't die up here by myself.
At level 8, rangers can dash as a bonus action.
Yes. It's nice.
So, would I be able to see anything from here and shoot?
From there,
To take a shot.
you could probably see these guys on the rooftop still. You could probably see him in particular.
I shoot him with my longbow.
All right, do it.
What are you doing?
That's the normal range for a longbow.
Right.
The whole map, basically.
Basically the map, yeah.
And
Pretty
once you go
big.
past that, you can still do it, but it's disadvantage.
Okay, so that does not hit. I think you can take another. You can take a second shot, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, 2 attacks.
You should be able to make 2 attacks here. Okay, well that misses as well.
How's that worse of a shot?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
You got nervous after you missed the first time.
Right? Yeah, you're freaking out.
Don't miss, don't miss, don't miss, don't miss. Ah!
Yeah.
Shit.
Got the dang yips.
Okay. That's it for your turn. Now it's these guys. So this guy is going to. Let's see, what does he have? Okay. So what's his dash? Okay. So he's gonna move over here to the edge of the roof.
Is he still standing on the roof?
Yeah.
Okay, so he'd be above me. I probably won't see him from there.
So you have cover behind that statue. Well, he's got height advantage though.
Yeah, but the statue's tall enough. I'm a dwarf. That was
Fair
the whole
enough.
point of me getting behind it.
Fair enough. What would cover do, Brett? I forget.
Partial
so much-
cover is like +2 to AC,
Yeah, it's a +2 to AC.
and then
Okay.
3/4 cover is disadvantage.
Let's say you get +2 to AC for being in cover.
What was that again? Say that again, Brett.
If you have 3/4 cover, then the attack is disadvantage. If you have partial cover, it's +2 to your AC.
Yeah.
3/4
So-
cover would be like an arrow slit or something.
Right. It'd have to be pretty intense. So I would say you get +2 to your AC.
Okay.
So 25, does that hit?
Yes.
Okay. So you take 10 piercing damage. All of his other attacks, however, just bounce off the statue.
How much was it again?
10. Alright, this guy's up next. He's gonna run and leap. Let's see. Here. He's going to teleport down onto the floor, ground floor. Let's see. Yep. And he's going to make dart attacks on Ardea. So 2 of his attacks hit, I believe, is a 21 and a 24. So that is 9 piercing damage. And now we're back at the top of the order.
So do I enter?
Oh, yes, right. You do enter.
Okay, where do I enter at?
You would enter, let's say, here. Kind of landed on a roof.
Like right there?
Yeah.
Where the bird is? Perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm assuming I can see these guys battling them, right? They're right in front of me.
Yeah, now you can, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna... As soon as I see that happening, it's kind of what I expected. So I'll cast a 3rd level healing spirit on top of Eloran. Right there.
Not
And...
on Ardea.
Well, I can't see what her HP is.
It's 12.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll do that then. Because, I mean, we can
I
spread
can't
it
see
around.
anybody's call, except for I can see Zeek. I can't see anybody else.
Yeah,
I never.
you have to turn on the HP bar. I'll put it on that space, but I'm also going to, as an action, cast Watcher Spirit on Ardea.
There.
Did that work?
Do you see her health now?
No, it's just the damage.
Nope.
Nope. You have to put it to view as everyone. Okay, there. I'm casting Watcher Spirit on Ardea. So until her next turn, attacks against her have disadvantage. And her next attack that hits deals additional 2d6 psychic damage.
Now can you see it?
Yes.
Yep. And I guess I'll ping Healing Spirit too. And that's all I'm going to do.
Fixing every one of these, because not everyone can
Whoops,
see their
wrong
own
one.
health.
Not Healing Word, Healing Spirit.
So now you should be able to see, like, say, David's health and AC.
I don't see. I didn't realize one of those was AC.
Well, we just see the HP. And on Balduk, we can see a bar, but there's no numbers in it.
Yep.
So maybe it's missing the second, the max or something.
What about now?
Does that
Yep.
Yeah, it worked now.
healing spirit do healing immediately when you cast it on her, or does it wait until her?
At the
turn?
start of her turn or when she enters it, so it'll be at the beginning of her turn.
That's why I was asking. Like, it also says when a creature enters it, but the spell is cast on her space. So does that count as entering it?
Well, it says whenever
It's like the origin of it?
when the creature moves into the spirit space, so she's not moving. So I would assume that it wouldn't heal until her turn.
Right.
Isn't the healing spirit the thing that increases the good berry stuff?
No,
That's a different thing, right?
yeah. Yeah, that's it for me. It's Eloran's turn now.
Okay. I'm gonna, I guess, roll your initiative. If you haven't.
I mean, you could just put me at the end if you want.
I guess that's true.
Or just leave me there, I guess.
Yeah, I'll just leave you there. Sure. I'll just change it to 1. Just at the bottom.
Yeah.
Alright. Now it's Eloran.
I can't remember if we've damaged either of these. I think, didn't she hit?
I don't think you've damaged. Yeah, none of them are showing any damage.
Okay. I am going to move here.
Okay.
I am going to strike him, the guy beside me.
Okay. Both of those hit. It's 16, 21, 23.
So, and then for my bonus action, oh, actually, hold on. So I'm gonna use goading it.
Okay.
Actually, no, I don't think I'm gonna do that. Never mind. That's a bad idea. Instead, I'm gonna use my bonus action to open the door that's right beside me.
Okay.
And so I can hide behind the door and give myself, hopefully, 3/4 cover or full cover.
I imagine a door would give you 3/4, wouldn't it?
It could just be total cover if you shut the door. But I think
just
you
total
might provoke
cover.
an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, if you do that, it would provoke an attack of opportunity from this distance.
I'm not moving. I'm just opening.
Well, I thought you were going to go in.
No. All I'm doing is opening the door and leaving the door open. I'm not gonna try to block attacks from the guy that's beside me. I'm trying to block attacks from the guys that are...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just opening the door to block those attacks from them. I'm not worried about the guy that's beside me.
Okay. Alright.
And that's it. Is that going to be a bonus action, or can I use a potion?
Normally a potion is a bonus action use.
I know, but opening that door, is it going to count as my bonus action, or are you going to let me use a potion?
I think if it's just right beside you.
Can I use my potion?
Yeah, you can.
Normally you get a free interact with object.
Right.
As long as it's not too complicated.
Yeah, I mean, I figure opening a door is not terribly complicated, so.
Okay. I'll heal myself 6. Oh god. Oh, what happened?
He's gone.
I deleted myself somehow. I pressed backspace to backspace out my health. And
Nope, you
it
just deleted yourself.
Just deleted my token.
Well, he's dead.
Bring me
Well.
back from the dead.
Eloran is gone now.
He's in the astral plane now.
Yep.
Anyways, we can move on to the next person while we figure this out. Thank you.
There we go. It's not that hard for me to bring him back, at least. But
Cool. I'm good.
so Balduk.
All right, so I imagine. So
Are you? So I guess. Would you see this guy?
So there's a couple. I don't think so. Not with my back to the wall. I think he's probably too far around that corner. I would think. I don't know.
Yeah, line of sight's not great on that. So yeah.
Right, and I think I was looking. I was focused more on this area here because I
No,
saw
you-
Eloran run back here earlier.
I would
And
have.
I imagine there's probably that wall might be in a way. I don't know.
You
really
could
don't
roll
know.
perception to see if you hear the footsteps on the roof. Maybe.
Well, I wasn't really worried about the firebolt so much. I was gonna let that drop. What I was
Well,
more concerned with.
I was just curious about whether or not you knew there was a guy right on the roof.
Oh,
above you.
yeah, I mean, I don't mind rolling for that. Yeah.
Yeah, roll perception on that. Yeah, you definitely heard those footsteps on the roof.
I feel like there's somebody above me. And
Yeah, you think someone's above you.
I think. So I knew that Eloran had run back here earlier. I probably saw, and since I was kind of focused on his area, would have seen Ardea run back there. If I kind of step around the corner a little, well, I don't want to be like right on top of that guy.
Well, I mean, you're under him.
But yeah, underneath him, would I be able to see Eloran over,
Yeah.
kind of behind
Well,
the door?
You would probably see the door open.
Yeah.
You might get a glimpse of him behind the door.
So my ultimate question is, would I have enough to see him and maybe see Ardea? I feel like she's probably hidden behind the statue. I might not be able to see her. I know she went back there, but I don't know if I'd be able to see her or not.
Maybe.
I don't know how big the statue is versus how tall she is.
I mean, the statue's fairly tall, but I don't know if it's that tall. Like, I think it's slightly taller than Ardea would be.
If there's enough of her and him maybe sticking out from behind cover that I could see, that I could cast haste on both
I mean,
of them.
Drew, if you're only giving us half cover for being able to get attacked, then he should be able to see us.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have the vantage point of being on top of the roof either. My goal, what I'm trying to accomplish here, is stay against this wall without stepping out in the open and casting haste on the two of them by twinning it. That would drop invisibility, but I could still stay, under cover of the building or whatever you want to call it. I'm not out in the open and making myself visible. I can cast a spell without verbally making any noise by using somatic components or material components. So
I will allow it. You will do it. You can do it.
okay, that's what I was trying to figure out if I would be able to do. I didn't want to break the continuity or whatever. But that's what I'm trying to do. I'll reach into my component pouch and pull out what is it? A shaving of licorice root, and bite down on that, and then wave my left hand in the air in a clockwise fashion, and kind of circular motion, and speeding it up ever so slightly.
Sure.
In a hasting motion, and twin cast haste on the both of them.
Okay.
While staying under the cover of this awning beside this building.
You have to find the
Okay.
icon for that. I think there's actually a clock looking thing.
Yeah, I think there is.
I used it for slow before.
Oh yeah, there is a clock. Yeah, right there.
But that'll drop my invisibility.
Right.
They'll both gain an extra, an extra attack, double their movement speed, and +2 AC.
Yeah, it makes them pretty strong.
Yep. Of course, at the end of it, they have like a round of stun or something. But hopefully we can finish all this off in 10 rounds.
Okay. So it's now this guy's turn. And gonna see. So how's he gonna react? Let me look something up real quick.
Oh, something else, I gotta do real quick too, because that's a third level spell.
Oh yeah, your magic. Yep. Roll that. Yep. Roll D100.
Let's find out what 60 does. No, it's not Featherbeard. I know that much already.
It's not Featherbeard, so we've rolled that one so many
She's
times.
over here chanting Featherbeard, Featherbeard, Featherbeard. And I'm like, no, it's not a Featherbeard. I know that much already. Because that's like 17 or something. 60. You regain a lowest level expended spell slot. Neat.
Oh, well. Nice.
That's cool, because I actually had one spent, so that works out. I get an extra spell slot back. Alright, that's it. I just wanted to make sure we covered it.
Okay. So this guy's gonna try and so he's just gonna just sidestep the door.
Now he moved, so do I get a...
Well, he hasn't moved out of your attack range, though.
Okay.
He's going to make unarmed strikes against you.
Ah! Fisticuffs!
Like they're kind of like ninjas. So imagine he's like trying to do karate on you, basically.
Ignore this. Never mind, nothing happened.
Okay.
Also ignore this.
All right. I would assume a 17 does not hit.
No, it doesn't, and I'm gonna riposte him.
Yeah, so all of his attacks miss.
God, I should really riposte him 4 fucking times. Is what I should do, but I'm not gonna. I think I'll just riposte him. Let's see how the first one goes. Maybe I'll riposte him.
What? What is this, Brett?
I assume a 12 doesn't hit.
No.
I think I'll just post again.
I tried to post that macro, but it didn't work because it's too long.
Wrong.
Whoops.
I chose the wrong one.
Oh, that's a. Yeah, that would do
There
it.
we go. Alright,
Yeah.
let me riposte.
He's not looking good. I mean, he was bloodied before.
Wow.
Yeah.
He does one. You said he doesn't look good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna riposte him. No, I'm not gonna riposte him. Because this is his turn. It'll come back around. I'll kill him.
And I'm trying to think if his move, like his teleport, would trigger an attack of opportunity or not. It doesn't say that it does, but I figure it probably would, unless it's said otherwise. Right?
Normally, teleportations don't provoke attack of opportunity. Because
Okay.
normally it's just movement. Like
Yeah,
Misty Step
so-
doesn't, so...
He's gonna, in that case, he'll just teleport onto the roof. After taking a beating from Eloran. his turn. And Dorian.
Drew, were you able to see
Okay.
that I posted?
What did you post?
That script?
Yeah, I saw the script.
Okay, copy and paste it in chat. See what happens.
Okay. Let me.
It's for an automatic wild magic surge rollable thing.
Okay. A lot of import table statements. It should just be straight up into the chat.
Yeah, that's what it said.
Okay, I'm gonna try it. Well, nothing's happening at the moment. I guess the script could be running, but
Yeah, we'll figure it out later. Go ahead.
yeah. Dorian, you're up.
Okay. Where I'm standing, I wanna. Do I hear anything coming from the building to the left of me here, or do I see any kind of entrance points on any of these buildings right over here to the left of me?
I mean, you see, there's a door that's right here on that building, and over here there's a door just to your right. Or,
I really can't make out from being outside whether anybody's in there or not.
I mean, you could look through windows and stuff.
Yeah. Where's the windows on these two buildings?
So there's a window over here, and there's a window that's actually pretty close to you right here.
Yeah, let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and move and look inside this window.
Okay. Roll perception. Okay. So again, more of these statue humanoids are in the building. Two of them in this one. There also appears to be I don't have the token for it right now, but there appears to be a dead goblin. And one of the windows over on this side appears to have been smashed.
Okay. Are both of these structures, this one and this one-storied structures?
Yeah, they are. They're 1 story tall. Yeah.
Okay. Can I still use my movement to go and look inside that other window?
Yeah, you can.
So yeah, I'd like to try to look in the window that was down here.
All right. Roll stealth advantage, I guess, while you're moving. Yeah, you're good. So, looking through this other window, you don't see any of the statues actually inside this building, and there's just typical living space. So furniture, a fireplace, that kind of stuff inside of it. So there's nothing. There doesn't appear to be any bodies or anything in there, though.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna continue to kind of put myself up against the wall, still trying to stay stealthy, and in my turn.
Okay. Make another perception check. Okay. Nothing. You don't notice anything. It's Ardea. It's your turn. You're hasted, and you heal. Right.
Oh, yeah, you get 1d6 on that.
1d6.
Does Zeik roll that, or does Ardea roll that?
Oh, for the healing,
Yeah.
it's just 2d6. I'll roll it.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah. So 7 help.
Okay. Now, is that baddie next to Eloran still there? The bloodied one?
He's on the roof.
He's
But
That's
he's
the
like,
roof.
but you can see him, but he's on the roof.
Okay. Well, I still have my bow out,
Yeah.
You have 3 attacks with it.
and I want to kill it.
Yeah, yeah, you have 3 attacks.
I want to kill it dead.
You probably will, so roll.
One, roll first.
Nope. Nope. Okay. That does it. You shot him dead.
Oh yay! Because I was gonna colossal strike his ass next.
If he's dead, ain't worry about that. Cool. Anything else?
I want to eat a good berry. Can I still do that?
Is that a bonus action?
I don't.
I think it is.
Only heals 1 health.
Oh yeah, it's only 1 health right now, and if he pulls out a spirit, then you'll get more.
And I'm gonna wait.
Okay. I don't think you have any. I couldn't find any potions on your
No.
character. Yeah, I think Eloran's got all the potions. Anything else?
So
You wanna
there's
move
one
some?
on that rooftop. I want to get closer to the statue to make it like as hard for him to see and shoot at me as he can.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. I wanna get
Actually, prone isn't a bad idea because ranged attacks have disadvantage on prone.
prone.
Is there like a crouch option here?
She's gonna go prone. If you prone ranged attacks against prone have disadvantage, so plus whatever cover she might have with the statue. So laying down against range attacks is like kind of a smart tactic. It may seem silly, but it works.
Huh. I don't think I've ever heard of that before, but I think it makes sense. You say. So it's another guy's turn, and he is going.
I actually saw it in a Critical Role episode once when one of the casters was like, "I'm gonna back up and then just lay flat on my back."
Meh. Yeah, this guy is gonna move here. And then he's gonna dash. Wow. That's ridiculous. Over here. That'll be his turn. Then this guy who's kind of perched on the roof. He's gonna move. He's gonna jump down from the roof. Move over there. And he's gonna hit Ardea. Though he does have disadvantage because she's prone. Throwing darts at her. This is what, an 18 hit? I assume so.
18 is matching. She's got +2 AC from.
That, I think ties do hit. I mean, regardless, a 21 would hit. And that's rolling with disadvantage. So that's 7, 14 damage. And then after the attack, it's going to teleport up on that roof.
What kind of movement speed do these guys have? Holy shit!
No, yeah, they could fucking go.
They're ninjas.
So, Zeek.
Okay. I lost one. I see this one here. Oh, the other one's up here behind me. Okay.
Yeah, right. Are you on the roof, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I can't plant growth or fireball, and I can't cast concentration spells. So I will fly on top of the statue, I guess. Why not? On its head.
Sure. Okay.
And
Do that.
summon my Wildfire spirit near me.
Nice. Nice.
You'll have to place it on the thing, because I can't see it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Let
then
me. Where did you put the spirit? I don't know where it would be. Or is it? Is it back on that map in the lighthouse? Let me go see if I can get it.
no, you can just drag it. It should be on the journal. You should be able to drag it onto the page. I just can't see it on my journal for some reason.
It probably isn't visible to you for some reason. So.
But you should be able to just drag it on the page.
Well, I can't find it. I don't know where it is.
That's fine. I'm just gonna summon it in range right there. And it can fly, so it's gonna be in the air too.
Nice.
And I'm gonna scorching ray at this guy that's
Which
on the
one?
roof.
Oh, that guy? Yeah. Makes sense.
Oh, that didn't roll. Let me try again.
So the second attack hits.
Okay, 16 does not hit.
No.
Okay, I get to add a d8. So, wow, that's really low.
It's
So
5
it's
damage?
5 damage, yeah. Jeez, that was insanely low.
Jeez.
But now all of the healing adds a d8, so that's good.
Yeah, that is good.
And that's all for me.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, hold on here. So now that guy's revealed himself. He's gonna attack Balduk. Uh, 17 would hit, right?
To hit who?
Balduk.
To hit me. Oh, who's attacking me?
The guy that just
I'm-
appeared.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's gonna hit because I don't have mage armor or anything.
What's your AC?
I think it's 13 right now.
Okay, yeah, one of his attacks hits, so you take 6 piercing damage. And I'll go ahead and
How much was that again?
7.
7?
Yeah. Wait. 6. Sorry, 6.
Also, did Ardea hit one of them last turn?
Yes, she killed one.
Okay, I was gonna say it did extra damage, but if it killed it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Like, he was pretty weak. So I think now we're hold on.
It'll be back to Eloran's turn. I mean, unless you got anything in between there.
Oh
I guess
shit.
whenever he-
Okay, hold on. Let me
Yeah,
add
whenever he
Eloran
broke his
back.
character, it dropped him from the turn order.
Yeah, I dropped him from the turn order. Yeah, let me add him back. Okay, so we just put him back on top. All right. It is now your move, Elrin.
I'm gonna move into the house,
Okay.
and I'm gonna shoot. Didn't Zeik hit one of?
Yeah.
I tickled him.
This one, at the top
Okay.
of the roof. Yeah.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna continue to just focus fire then, and I'm gonna shoot the same.
Okay.
Neither of those probably hit.
Nope. Neither hit.
That sucks. Well, I'm gonna eat a berry and then I'm gonna close it.
Okay. I will say that there is a window here
Okay.
and here.
Then in that case, I won't close the door. I didn't realize that. So
Well, I mean, you could use it. You could still like smash out one of the windows and fire from there or something like that. But yeah, okay.
yeah, I'm just gonna instead of closing the door, I'm just gonna move to the side or something.
Okay. Sure. Just be out of line of sight, basically. All right.
You heal for 7 from that berry.
Oh, okay, that's better than me.
Oh, is that because Zeek is like, what is that?
It's
Because
whenever I have my Wildfire Spirit out, it adds a D8 to all my healing and damage rolls.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Or damage roll with fire, specifically.
Actually, I take that back. I'm gonna I'm actually gonna move forward instead of moving backwards.
Okay.
You said I got 7 back.
Yeah.
I have no idea where your spirit is, Brett.
I drew it.
Really. I know, but like.
Oh, like where the token is? Yeah, it's there somewhere.
I don't know where it went off to.
We'll figure it out
And
later.
I also another thing I do is when I move up behind the statue, I say, Ardea, go hide in the building I was just in. Just close the door and heal.
That's actually what we were just talking about. We're both gonna run inside that house. Just and try to bottleneck them in there. Like if everybody wants to jump in that house, we can bottleneck them to the door.
Have you guys been using your haste attacks?
I have. Oh no, I haven't been. But
Yeah, you got a third attack, I guess.
I'm gonna take that third attack then. Why did it?
Damn.
Just the first.
First one definitely hits.
Cool.
Okay. Now we are on Balduk.
I am looking at something. I was trying to get this figured out beforehand, but I can't find the information I'm looking for. Oh, there it is. Wait, no, that's not it. It's the wrong part. Oh. Oh, it just says within range. Range is 90 feet, so apparently I can move 90 feet with this. That is interesting. Alright, let's see what kind of noise I can make with this. Bear with me. I'm trying to figure out controls.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let's see what happens when I do this. .25 in my movement, and now both of these two are within 10 feet of me. 10 that way, 10 that way.
Okay.
And I do this number.
Doing something. Oh. Thunderstep. Okay.
And I'm gonna thunderstep. So I've got 90 feet that I can do with thunderstep. So I'm gonna thunderstep from there into the house through that door and just get right inside there. But those two are gonna have to make looks like con saves against that.
Yep. Con saves, and they have to beat a 15. Okay.
And they take half as much on a successful save. And thunder can be heard up to 300 feet away.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Everyone
probably
knows
not
you're
good.
here. Well, now all of China knows you're here. Let's see.
We're just lucky that there's battles going on around us.
Exactly.
true.
I figured we could probably mask the explosion under the battles of them.
So, this guy did not, or this guy saved. This guy did. So it's 19 damage, right?
Yep.
And Ardea rolled a 20.
No, that 20 was for my wild surge.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just
Well,
had her
that's yeah.
loaded.
Definitely roll that D100, good sir. Yeah. Okay. 83.
This might be new. I don't think I've rolled that high on this table before. Each creature within 30 feet of you takes 1d10 necrotic damage. You regain hit points equal to the sum of that damage. I would assume that would have taken place at the time of cast, so 30 feet within from this
Yeah.
space.
So roll.
My assumption.
How much was it? D10?
A 1d10, I believe.
Yeah, 1d10. What? Oh,
Oh, I rolled it off of this wild surge save.
yeah. Is it 1d10? Like, is it flat damage, or each of them takes their own damage? I guess.
Each creature within 30 feet takes 1d10 necrotic damage. You regain hit points equal to the sum of the necrotic damage dealt. So
in that
each
case,
creature would take. It
think
looks like each creature takes a one. I don't know if that means each creature takes a 1d10 or if they all take the same 1d10.
Normally you roll once for all of them, like Fireball.
I think
Yeah,
it'd be
that's what
each.
I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's 10 and you regain 20 health.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Is it just those two?
Yeah, it's just those two.
Well, for
Scouts
some reason
on
it rolled twice, so there's the two. One of them takes 10, one of them takes 9. I get 19 health, which just puts me back up.
I mean, you're put up to full regardless, so yeah. Alright, you
Neat.
thunderstepped and used just some life-stealing magic randomly.
I feel stronger.
The sound waves had necromancy infusing them.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Did any of them take thunder damage, by the way?
Huh?
Did either of them take any thunder damage?
No, yeah, they did. I mean, well,
okay.
with the save, yeah, you take half. So
Okay.
They both still took damage.
Okay.
This guy's definitely looking rougher than this guy
Mm-hmm.
because he didn't save. But anyway, this guy
Hooray! I'm useful.
for now.
For
So
now.
that guy's dead. So Dorian, you're up.
That dead goblin, he was in this building
Uh huh.
to the north of me there, right here.
Right here. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and enter that building and investigate that guy.
Let me just do this real quick. There. I think I mentioned like a couple of these guys around too, so yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can go in there. Though, roll stealth again. And as always, because you're invisible, you have advantage.
Two bad rolls.
Yeah.
That plus 7 helps.
What?
I said that plus 7 makes a difference.
Yeah, I mean they're not bad when you.
Yeah, when you add the 7, yeah.
They're mediocre.
It's mediocre. I would say that you do make a little bit of noise, like as you're opening the door and stuff. I mean, you're still invisible, so.
And am I able to make my way to that goblin to?
You can, yeah, you
investigate?
do.
Yeah.
I think you have enough movement to do that.
Yeah, especially.
Alright. Roll investigation. Okay. So, this goblin, rather than being pumped full of darts like the orc body you saw, this one just has his throat slit. Cleanly, and that's it. It's the only damage he has.
Anything on the body notable?
You see on this one, he has some kind of, again, another weird little pair of goggles, but also he appears to have a, let me think what that is. Looks like a makeshift bomb. Like it's got a fuse on it and stuff.
Interesting. I am gonna take the goggles this time and just keep them on my person.
Okay, sure.
And
I guess
again,
make a note of that somewhere in D&D Beyond. Just so we're keeping track.
I guess at the end of that, I'm just gonna kind of make sure I'm like up against a wall or somewhere kind of out of sight, and you know, as I wait for my next turn, just trying to do some investigation here as you guys are cleaning up out there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Ardea?
You heal for 14.
Ooh.
Yes, please. That's good. Holy. 14, please. 5.
You also have your berries too. Unless that was that berries too?
That was just the healing spirit.
I'm gonna stand up.
Is it standing up?
It's like half your movement.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so there's a question I was curious about. If standing up is half your movement, and if you're hasted, your movement is double, does that mean it's only a quarter of movement to stand, or is it still half movement to stand?
I think the rule is it's just half your total movement.
I think it is just a
Dang.
flat half. So, yeah.
I mean,
think
either way, what she plans to do, I think, is not going to be affected. That was just a curious.
Yeah. I think just because the ruling is exactly 50%, I don't think it would change, like, percentage-wise.
That's cool. No big deal. Just curious.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So, good berries are what again? 1 plus 1d8?
Brett's been rolling for those.
She must have
It's
popped her good
yeah,
berries.
it's a D8 plus 1.
How many? You said you had 2 good berries? And could she do both of them in one turn? Like in one, as one bonus action?
That's how we've been doing it. Oof.
Ooh.
So 6 total.
Okay, I'll take more than 0 is better.
Did you roll both of my berries? just one?
I did one for you.
Okay, good.
Then I'm gonna shoot at the bloodied one over there. That
Oh,
one.
that one? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot at it with my arrow.
Shoot it.
Shoot it.
That probably doesn't hit.
No.
14. Second attack.
Yeah.
Yep.
Crit.
It's gonna kill him, yeah.
Killed 3! And then I'm gonna haul my ass to the house.
You can probably shoot one more.
Oh,
You got-
can
you
I
still-
have one more attack?
Yeah,
and I
one
can
more
still
attack,
run?
yeah.
Alright,
do.
So there's the one up here in the building, and there's this one over here. I know this one's taking damage.
so
They
hit that
both
one.
have.
Oh, they both have?
Yes.
Wait, so you're gonna shoot that
I
one?
don't give a shit. Hit one of them.
Over there? Yep.
It's a hit. Yep.
And Colossus Strike it.
Crit. You get to double that too.
Wait, what?
That would be
The
that's
third,
not on
that's
her.
the third attack. Third attack doesn't crit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it won't do that.
But roll a d8 for the Colossus Strike, I think.
Well, you can choose when you add it, right?
Well, the crit already killed the.
This guy.
Oh, it's a different guy. Never mind.
It's a different
yeah,
guy.
she's attacking a different guy.
So give that one 18, and I'm gonna haul my ass to the house.
Alright, he's almost dead.
Nice.
And if there's enough action left in her turn to close the door behind her.
Yeah, I mean, sure. She does have it.
But we're not trying to cheat the system or anything, so if reasonably.
Well, I
that-
mean, normally it's a rule that you get one free action to interact with an object in your environment, and I would say that's shutting a door. Yeah.
I did not realize that. That's cool. Awesome.
Yeah. So that guy's dead. This guy. So this guy. Gonna jump to that rooftop. And then dash away.
We're starting to retreat now.
Yeah, he's decided to back off. Zeek.
And tell your little friends to stay awake too, jerk.
Use my bonus action to move my healing spirit. It just goes through the door. The ghostly flame that was surrounding you just comes back in and follows you straight through the door and goes around you again. And then I saw this guy retreat, right?
You did, yeah.
I'll fly up there
Okay.
and let me see if I have any third level slots. I do. I will cast Hold Person on both of them.
Damn it!
Oh, you mean like this guy? And this guy?
Yeah,
Can you
that's
bring
the
my token back from the dead again?
God damn it, Eloran?
that's the only two I
Why?
can see, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, those two. That one and that one. When I said both of them and you wanted to clarify, that makes me worry. Maybe there's more we don't see. But yeah, those two. They both need to make wisdom saving throws.
Okay. One of them failed.
Has to beat a 16.
God damn. You can hold everyone forever. They're both held.
All right, good. All right, I'm done.
Is it a concentration? Does your healing spirit go away because you're holding?
But yeah,
30
that's a
now?
good point. Yeah, it does.
Good.
Good point. It's fine. It's worth it.
All right, Balduk.
Me.
It
Oh.
should be Eloran's turn.
God.
You get dropped from the order again?
Yeah, every time his token gets deleted, that's what happens.
It's that damn wild magic.
Yeah, that damn wild magic.
I am going to pull out Hook Claw,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try to Hook Claw to over here where I saw the guy running to.
Okay. Roll dex. Yeah, you hook shot over. Do you want to be on the roof or not?
It's not gonna matter. I don't think
Yeah.
much.
It won't matter much.
Yeah, because I'm just gonna run to him. So I move to him, and then I'm gonna try to beat him.
Okay. I mean, now all your attacks auto crit because he's held. So. God. Well, you're gonna crit anyway.
Yeah, it's crit anyway.
So, I mean, he's like considering all three of these attacks get a crit, like are auto critted. Is that right, Brett?
Yeah, melee attacks are auto crits.
Yeah, he's dead. He's just beat to a bloody fucking pulp.
Sweet. In that case, I am going to. Here. I'm gonna move to here, and I'm going to use my action surge and get this guy.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm actually going to do that.
Well, he's dead too.
Fuck yeah. Nice. So that's all of them, right?
Yeah, that we know of.
Put me in combat up the bell.
Yeah, I think combat is at an end.
I'm gonna immediately start looking for more,
Of course.
even though I don't even have dark vision,
I need a short rest.
and I rolled a crit fail and a crit success, but I don't have advantage, so
Okay.
I actually have
I mean-
disadvantage because no dark vision.
Well,
I'm just too distracted by all these ash people.
fair enough. They are pretty disconcerting. Yeah, you don't really see any other traces of these hobgoblins.
Well, I'll fly down here with my fire spirit because it puts off light.
Okay.
And while it's still there, I'll give my 2 good berries to Ardea.
Dorian, roll perception.
We're out of combat. I'm going to eat my last. Actually, I'm just going to eat my last berry anyways at the end of my turn.
Yeah.
Do it now while the spirit's here.
Yeah, can you roll?
So you
3.
hear. Did you close the door behind you or not? Dorian.
I would say I probably did not.
Okay, well,
He was
You
trying
thought-
to be very careful, though.
right. You think you may have heard some footsteps coming into the room. Or into the building you're in. what do you do, Dorian?
I'm hearing footsteps coming through that door.
Yeah.
Already up against something, up against the wall or something.
Now
I'm
you're still
at the
invisible as well. Remember that.
Right. I'm going to maintain my spot, not move, and try to see who's coming through the door.
Well, you don't see anybody.
So I hear footsteps, but I'm not seeing anybody. Okay.
Right. You're not seeing anyone. So...
Can you stop rolling, please? We need to roll our own. Stop it. No. You're not allowed.
Ardea, you heal for 4 more. But you also feel really bloated, because each good berry is supposed to be a full day's meal, so...
Oh, yeah.
I was going to give her mine also. Should I not do that?
You can, but she might, you might have a stomach ache.
So, Dorian, you feel kind of the mood, like you feel the air change, I guess, like as someone's moving past you.
Mm-hmm.
And then is there anything you want to do? Because it's now kind of going toward, like, you think of the presence is going towards, I think I mentioned a broken window. It's gonna go towards the broken window.
Yeah, okay, the broken window where it appeared, the goblins. Okay. I really don't know what to do other than to come out of invisibility. For what reason?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to sit there, you can. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit here and watch the aura in front of me.
Okay. It leaves the building because it didn't notice you either. So it's out. What does the rest of the party want to do?
Where's Dorian?
We don't know.
I haven't seen that little squirrely music man in a while.
We should find him.
I think I'm gonna head back up on the roof.
I fly up here.
Maybe we should retreat back to the lighthouse and take a rest.
We're gonna have to find Dorian.
He'll find his way back.
I cast Detect Magic,
Okay.
the best spell in the game.
My God.
Can I see traces of illusion magic anywhere?
You can. There was a lot of it. Like, you obviously feel it from...
There was a lot of it on the roofs.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's obviously traces left behind by the guys you just fought. As for others, you sense traces of illusion magic that are coming from here. And here.
On the roofs or in the buildings?
On the roofs.
God damn it. Get off the roof.
And what about Dorian?
I would say the door's still open. You can sense the illusion magic that's coming from there. That I don't know if you'd be able to tell that it's Dorian or not.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, you would detect that as well.
Not unless the other guy's magic is like extremely different than his.
I don't
doubt it
really
is.
think it would be very much. So what do you do?
And what
Basically,
about the
since-
person that left through the window?
Oh, they're like, what's your range on detect magic?
I wish I had Fairy Fire. I think they're out of range. Yeah, they would be out of range, I think.
Yeah, they're out of range, and yeah, basically off the map. So what do you do, Zeik?
I'll cast Scorching Ray and send 2 of them at this one over here, and then 1 at this one over here.
Okay.
I don't know that they're invisible people. I just think they probably are.
I mean, it's a decent bet. So go ahead. Though you are rolling probably with disadvantage, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So none of those hit. And I guess roll perception.
Yeah, I would think all that fire would make enough light to maybe see if there's an invisible person moving.
Oh yeah. You hear the one that was over here. You hear it go. You hear it go off in this direction, and then the second one. This one goes off in this direction. Like they're starting to run away now.
That's bad.
Very bad.
I might be able to catch one, but not both of them.
So can only he sense them and see them?
I can just see auras of magic.
Right.
You think you can get one of them, right? Because I think I can get the other.
You can try, sure. I'll fly after this guy that's on the bottom.
Okay. I want to use my scroll of true seeing.
Oh yeah,
All right. That'd do it.
nice.
I was waiting for you guys to pull that out a bit earlier, but okay.
And then I'm gonna, whichever one's closest, because he's gonna have more advantage for the one that's further away. I'm gonna use my hook shot, get as close to it as I can, and then try to either hook it and grab it and pull it in, or something.
All right.
I'm also gonna kind of yell to the guys behind me to let them know what I'm doing.
Okay. So roll dexterity. Yep. So you hook shot yourself onto the roof, and you can plainly see with the scroll of true seeing the guy's right here.
I can't see anything. Where?
Oh, hold on. Let me just reveal him. Yeah, if you like just hook.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I do want to either, let's see. I honestly think I want to, I want to hook him in strength contest with it. I want to keep
Okay.
him from going.
Let's do that.
Do you want me to roll strength or dex or what? How do you want me to?
I guess it would be Dex versus his strength.
Okay.
So you rolled 18. Yeah. So you shoot your hook shot, and it wraps around him, but he's able to slip away, break out of it.
Wow. Okay.
He got a really good strength roll.
Yeah. So, are we in combat or something? Like, am I able to run? Because I have haste. Am I able to run after him?
I mean, you would have enhanced movement.
Because I want to engage him in battle. I mean, I want to fight him so that he stops running.
I mean, we can roll. I guess we can get initiative going again.
Okay. I mean, if I can't, because I can't try hook at him again. That would be cheap. So
Right.
Guys, at 9:30, yeah, I gotta get off here in a second.
Yeah, okay.
Should we? What do you want to do? Should we just call it?
I think we can call it probably, and we can kind of resolve the situation
Okay.
next time.
You may want to reveal the other token that I can see the aura of, so we don't forget
Yeah.
about it.
That's a good point. Let me do that.
And I guess just try to remember that we're trying to get these guys.
I'd
That's
usually be up for playing later. Just tonight, not the case.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, we're playing at 9. We're already running later than usual.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I told my girlfriend I'd be done at 9.
Oh, okay, right. Polymorph.
Well, that's a reminder to
Get out.
myself.
Oh god.
But normally it wouldn't be a problem. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. That's fine.
Did
Like,
you move the one I was after?
huh?
Did you move the one I was after? He's gone.
Oh, let me get him.
Yeah, there he is. Okay.
And I forgot to reveal them, but there are other murdered orcs. I shouldn't have put them in the GM overlay, but there's a couple others. I don't know if you guys can see. I think Dorian can see them, but anyway. Eloran, you might have sight on the other one, but
Okay.
yeah.
What do I have sight on?
Just other orcs that have been clearly murdered by these guys. I forgot to reveal them.
I'm just thinking we can't let them get away, because then their superiors will know that we're here.
Well, I mean,
I've got other ideas. I've got my whip, so I think I'm gonna try to whip him. That's what.
all right. I guess I'll roll initiative for this guy too.
I might have a way to get inside that tower, but we'll have to find a way to escape.
If the whip hits, I don't want to do damage. I just want to.
It does. It does match his AC. Yes, it does
So
hit.
I just want to stop him. That's.
Okay.
I don't want to. It doesn't have to do damage. I'm just trying to keep running.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. I guess we can pick that up later.
Yeah. Well, there was a few technical difficulties, but I think it was a pretty good session. There was a lot
That
of.
was a lot of fun. I like this a lot better.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like fighting ninjas on rooftops. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to go wrong, right? That was a mind when I made this map.
Being able to visualize helps to. It makes the even elementary combat more fun because we're able to use cover and we're able to use our other abilities and we're able to think differently.
Mhm.
I like this.
A lot of strategy.
That's right.
Guys, I'm gonna go. I'll
Take it
see you
easy.
next
Mhm.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think next Thursday would be good.
Great. Good night, guys.
Hey.
Night. All right. Well, see you guys next time.
Cool. Yeah. I'm gonna get off of here as well. So see you next week.
Yep.
See ya.
ya.
David, can you play the Storm Kings game tomorrow?
Yeah, shouldn't be a problem.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Don't know when we'll start. Maybe 6 or 7, hopefully. All right, we'll talk to you then.
Later.
Oh, for the Storm King's
Yeah.
Thunder? Yeah.
Yeah. I was
No.
asking if you can make it. I had an idea.
Yeah.
While they were doing stuff, I was thinking about it.
Uh-huh.
But I might just run it by you just so I don't know if I'm make sure I'm not wasting a whole bunch of thought on that, something impossible.
Go ahead.
So, when I was spying on them, I gathered that they're trying to get inside that central tower, right?
Right.
So, when I was looking at my spells, I was thinking, maybe you can found a combination.
Oh no.
So I would probably assume it has some kind of magic seal on it, right?
Yes. Well, I mean, think about it. You have a whole army of magic, like an army with wizards and stuff like that, and they are still trying to figure out how to get in.
Right.
So you would assume they would have the same. Well, maybe not. I mean, you are a hero. You are a little stronger than them. What were you thinking of doing?
Well, I was wondering if, I mean, I assumed my character would assume that there's some kind of magic seal on it.
Yes.
So dispel magic would not work at something that high level. It'd have to be upcast a million times.
Oh yeah.
But I'm thinking maybe concentrating dispel magic on just a 5-foot section. So put all that magic concentrated into just a 5-foot section, and then immediately after that, casting. I don't have it prepared now, but I could in the future. Stone shape, and you can make a small passage through a wall and shape it into a stone door and have it between inches and latch.
So you're trying to make a door into it.
Essentially dispel the magic from just a tiny spot, just for a few seconds, and then make a door in it.
So that could be possible.
That was my thought.
It could be possible, but there
I
will
don't
be
know.
there will be consequences.
I don't know if the situation will arise for it, but
Well,
when I was looking at my spells, I saw that and it clicked.
I will not because the actual way to get in is going to be pretty hard for
Mhm.
anyone to pull off at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So potentially that could be something you could do. But like I
Yeah.
said,
Well, there's a lot of other factors.
there's a lot of other factors.
Like, what if we accidentally let them get in through that, or like, what if we don't even care about what's in there? Because my character would guess, based on what he knows, that maybe that dagger they're after is in there, and Mistwalker is probably not in there
Right.
because they have him with them.
Right. Yeah, that is logical deduction.
So there would have to be a situation and a reason to want to get in there, but if there was,
Yeah.
I would not try that.
Well, I won't disallow it, and I figure it could work. There'd probably be a couple rolls you'd have to make in there
Mm-hmm.
to ensure it works, maybe.
Yeah.
But I will say, even if you get nat 20s and stuff, there would, like I said, there would be consequences for doing it.
Well, we'd have to manage to do it where the hobgoblins wouldn't see us.
Right. Well, on top of all that, yes. But even like in a perfect vacuum, like
Mhm.
excluding the Legion, excluding the Clankers,
Mhm.
doing that to it would have consequences.
Mhm. And I'm sure there's a lot more to it, but just from what I'm guessing, I figured I could, if there's just like a dagger in there that's special and they want it, I could just grab it and then wild shape and fly away. Because when you wild shape, all of your equipment transforms with it.
Yeah?
The problem with that is my teammates wouldn't be able to fly away.
No, they wouldn't be able to follow.
I
They
mean-
would probably die.
Yeah, I mean, Dorian can fly. He might get shot out of the sky, but he can fly.
Yeah.
So it would have to be either a solo mission or they would have to have somebody to escape.
Yeah.
And if we try to do the giant eagle thing again,
It's probably not going to work as
Then-
well.
assuming they don't have any they probably don't have any weapons big enough to do ranged weapons to do major harm to a giant eagle, but they'll easily all see us.
And there are wizards on their side.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there are, like, the Devastators are there.
Yeah, so it would be a lot more risky
Yeah.
than last time to
Right.
do that.
But no, I was waiting for, like, actually one of the potential random encounters was you guys running into a group of these guys,
Mhm.
like, on the road.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome enemies.
They're pretty fucking cool, actually.
And it actually kind of makes sense that a super organized legion would have some kind of really badass unit of scouts. Because scouts are really important.
Yeah. Well, what's even more terrifying to consider is if you guys like actually engage in like full-on Legion forces, these guys could just be there.
Yeah.
And fuck you up pretty badly. So.
But I'm thinking like, if these guys are like the Immortals, they're the super highly trained scouts. Well, if we kill like 10 of them here, that's probably going to be a massive blow to the Legion. I'm sure there's some left, but there can't be that many more.
Right.
There can't be like 100.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, I mean, they're not stupid. When they saw the tide turn, they ran.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially like that type of character, like a scout type.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to try to run them higher.
I mean, already one of them like slipped past Dorian completely.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think there's anything I can do about that one.
No.
But my character doesn't know about that, so.
Yeah, your character doesn't know about that one.
He just
because
doesn't want. He just doesn't want the Legion to know we're there. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Well, yeah, it makes perfect sense. So yeah, everything so far is tracked pretty well, I'd say. Like, and I mean, obviously they would have, you know, essentially fucking hobgoblin ninjas running around behind the clanker lines, fucking them up and trying to do stuff in the shadows.
Yeah. Yeah, that's their badass unit of scouts. Hopefully we put a dent in it.
I'd say you did. I mean, you definitely killed some members.
It seems like they would be super annoying when they were in the background of like another unit. Because when it's just them, they're not that hard to kill because they're like scout types. They're not going to have high AC and high health.
Right.
But if they're supporting, that
Yeah.
could be really annoying.
Oh yeah. I mean, granted, you guys hit essentially a research lab, pretty much. Like, so they weren't really a combat unit even. So
Yeah,
now
we could potentially run into groups of hobgoblins later that'll be all different types mixed together.
yeah, it's gonna be fucking.
If there's
hard.
if there's some of those shadows in that would be really fun.
Oh yeah.
Because chasing them around is not going to be possible when you're also trying to deal with wizards and fighters.
Especially a lot of them.
Yeah.
And like, there's some maps where I have just arrayed. Like, if you guys decide to go into the heat of the conflict, like the battle, I was ready with like all kinds of bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I just kind of figured it made sense that you guys would try and like get to the clankers. So I figured on the way there, this could be the encounter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, overall, I'm pretty pleased how that played out.
I'm glad I decided to go and try to help. Because they ended up being more than just a short encounter.
Well,
Now I'll probably fly back and watch the tower
yeah,
after we deal with these guys.
yeah.
Unless more guys come. I think Balduk might go with me because I think he's out of spells too.
Yeah.
Also, I like how Will plays Dorian a lot, where sometimes combat's happening, he should stop doing his own thing.
Yep.
And that's good, because he's a bard. He can do some tricks in combat, but he's not really a soldier.
Yeah.
It makes sense that he would be doing something like that.
Well, I also kept like making him roll stealth checks even while he was invisible.
And it's funny, because Steven's like the ultimate like power gamer type,
Yes.
but his friend that he brought into the campaign is the opposite.
Yeah.
He will explore during combat,
Yep.
not even participate.
Yep. He didn't even participate.
And that's a good thing.
No, it's a good thing. It worked. I mean, it ended up working out. Though things were looking kind of dicey in the beginning for both Eloran and Ardea.
Yeah.
I was kind of underestimating a little bit how powerful like 4 fucking dart attacks could be, and they can teleport around, and they can just fuck your day up.
Do they have any kind of stunning strike?
No.
I figured that'd be too broken.
No, they don't have stunning strikes. But on top of that, they do have spells that are like a cast at will. I haven't had a good opportunity to use any of them, but they do have them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're
Probably like darkness or minor illusion or something.
minor illusion, prestidigitation, alter self is an option.
Ooh.
Oh no! Like I said, like these guys could.
So they have a lot of like non-combat abilities too.
That's right. They could totally sneak up on you guys, and you wouldn't know it, unless you were actively looking for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I thought of them as a really good combat random encounter.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, that they could be your pursuers instead of like regular forces from the other place. But yeah, that's. I was kind of like when I discovered, I'm like, oh god, I gotta use them somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. God, that's fine. I just like how one of them tried to do like karate bullshit against Eloran, and just, none of it worked, and then just almost got killed.
Say 72.
Well, it's because it's been altered to go to 75 as well, so it kind of alternates between the two depending on the time.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I like how. Alright, I'm gonna take cover here, and then they just have enough movement to just get behind the cover anyway. Just, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we can teleport.
I mean, they can teleport 30 feet, and their speed is 40 feet.
Yeah,
Like,
they're monks, they can move.
They can fucking move. Yeah, they're monks. Also, what's really funny is they wear a mask that kind of makes them look like a demon. Just for that effect, I guess.
Let's make them even more of a ninja.
Yes, even more badass than they already are.
They were like, what should these hobgoblin scouts be? How about ninjas? Okay, sure.
Fuck
That's
it.
fine. Fuck it.
They're demons. They're Oni ninjas, basically.
Yeah. Imagine an Oni that has like has those guys as bodyguards.
Oh my god.
That would be really cool.
Oh, that'd be sick. Oh, yeah. I'm glad I took that time though. I delayed the session until today because I was able to get those maps ready and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That helps a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna cast polymorph on that because that's pretty much all I have left. If I upcast hold person at 4th level, I can hold 3 things, but there's not even that wouldn't even be useful.
God.
So if I have to spend the 4th level, I might as well do something a little.
Not
stronger.
a single one of your whole persons has been ineffective, by the way. It has always held all their targets, I'm pretty sure.
Well, when I used it in that fortress, it failed a lot.
Well, that's true.
But the last couple times, it's been really effective.
Yeah. I do like how you held them in place and then Eloran literally speed ran and killed them both.
Well, we've done that before. He knows what's up.
Yeah, he knows what's up. But I just think it's hilarious. He's like, I gotta get there! Just fucking murders one of them and then goes and murders the other one. And I assume it was recorded, right?
Shit, did I stop it?
No.
Oh well, there's